20th, there's a new sheriff in town.
I think the last guy was as strong as Scott Pressler.
Scott Pressler will be on the show. I'm texting back and forth with him. He's still inside there. Dan and I noticed when it's a formal event like this, the hair's in a ponytail. The everyday use, it's not. That's the signal of the formality, apparently, of the event. Now, doesn't this all come together through this wonderful platform called Talk Radio 1210 WPHT? We were just talking before the show with Jim Worthington's people, and Jim is right there behind Scott Pressler in the hearing. I'm not sure if he's going to speak or not. And it was a barn burner today. Dr. Damsker brought up all kinds of things. Dave Sunday, the new attorney general, would be the place to go here. This was election interference. She's admitted to it. At least it's a standard to get into a court of law. And rather than just the anger today, Jim Worthington, the head of the NAC, announced on my show yesterday that he's starting this Bucks County PAC that will focus in on raising money, advocacy, volunteers toward electing better people in Bucks County. Think of the commissioners. You know, everybody would get wound up with the presidential and all that, and rightfully so. But you know, and I know, if you have progressives or if you have people like Marseglia and Bob Harvey, Harv DeGrasse, in positions in Bucks County, they have a large influence on your life. And sometimes they could even help throw a Senate race. So it's got to be at every level. All this to say, we spoke with Jim's office. I mean, they are so generous. There's going to be food and drink for listeners. We got a great space. I don't even know how many people. Greg and I were going back and forth. I think we settled on about 100 seats, but people will revolve in and out over the 3 hours on Monday, the 25th, coming up. And Scott Pressler will be there. I made it on Monday, the 25th, because that fit his schedule. Jim Worthington, Linda Kearns, who's deep in the recount right now. Joe DeFelice, who won in Philadelphia, kept them close. And I think the head of the Trump Force 47 in Pennsylvania will be there. My buddy Jody Della Barbara down in South Philly, they led the charge big time and actually won vast sections of South Philly for President Trump. All that in one magnificent package, noon to 3 Monday at the NAC, Pheasant Road, no fee, no ticket, no registration, just show up and we will celebrate. So, Dan, I'm thinking of breaking out. You got to get there early.
Yeah.
That $100 bottle of wine.
Nice.
We will be certainly pouring some of that, thanks to the young Republicans. There was a story we did once because of people drinking $1,000 bottles of wine, and I think it was Paul Ryan, and people couldn't believe even $100 bottle of wine. I'm not used to that, you know. We're going to have to carefully not swill that down. So we will mark it. Be there Monday. You will come out and you will celebrate another great event, what they did today.
Is there a dress code?
No, there's no dress code. No.
We're not doing Hawaiian shirts this time around?
Oh.
Leisure
I have
suits?
to dig them out. Nah, if I find a
How about black turtlenecks? You can just wear your everyday outfit.
Yes, I can wear my everyday outfit.
Everyone wear black turtlenecks.
I plan on bringing 3 wardrobe changes. I've been told there's a nice room there for me to change, one for each hour.
As long as I don't have to witness it this time, I'm okay.
Yeah, we'll do that, one each hour. So be there on Monday. Now, today, Scott Pressler will be on. We hope to maybe get Pat Pobrek on, some of the other people that were there. Who is Dan?
Sorry, just a live update from the meeting. Joan Cohen's walking up to the podium if you wanted to hear.
Yeah, let's hear this. Our buddy Joan Cohen, former president of the Penn Ridge School District, been a friend a long time. She's speaking now. Let's take a little
She starts her
bit.
speaking as she walks up to the podium. Take a listen.
Okay.
My wish.
Actually, before you start the timer on my public comment, I need to raise a question of privilege. That's why I'm talking from back here before you start it. The question of privilege isn't a public comment, and I can still have my public comment 3 minutes. I need to raise a question of privilege based on your remarks that you made in the beginning. Okay, I'm going to raise a question of privilege before my public comment. Please don't start the timer because this doesn't count as a public comment.
We'll see. I'll figure it out. Go ahead.
I came here today and I was going to leave myself out of my comments. I deliberately didn't put anything about how I was treated by this county 4 years ago in these comments today. But then based on Commissioner Marseglia's heartfelt comments about how we need to be mindful of bullying others and being kind and worry about what we say that might hurt them and their families, my question of privilege to you today is if you would like to apologize for what you did to me 4 years ago when you used the taxpayer-funded county website to say that I was hateful and to say that my comments were racist. That statement you made is still on your Facebook page. The words hateful and racist are still attached to my name on the internet. They will never go away. So my question to you is if you would like to apologize and if you would like to commit to scrubbing that from every single place on the internet for me. Perhaps pay for one of those services that will fix my reputation that you sullied with your harmful and false accusations about me. And I'll let you answer that question before I go into my public comment.
We don't answer questions, we just take comment.
Duly noted, Commissioner. Duly noted.
Wait, they went to
So as
different
I
departments
said, I
for a
wasn't
question
going to
earlier.
talk about myself today because this issue is bigger than Bucks County. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than Bucks County. What happens here is going to
not stop her timer.
determine what we tolerate with our elections
The
across
timer's
the
still
country.
going.
So yeah, just a quick note: the timer
Yeah.
is indeed still going in the bottom
Okay.
right there.
All right, Dan. We got it.
I mean, you might want to take the rest though, because I think it continues and it gets kind of heated here.
Okay.
And people have made a lot of great remarks I don't really want to repeat, but I do want to say that we can't forget Governor Shapiro in all of this. He attempted
Great
to
point.
defend Commissioners
Great
Harvey
point.
and Marseglia's flouting of a PA Supreme Court ruling. He claimed the ruling lacked clarity, and the commissioners were, quote, damned if they did and damned if they didn't count incomplete ballots. Outgoing Senator Casey did his part to bolster Shapiro's dubious claim by filing a lawsuit against Bucks County for not counting certain ballots. Casey's lawsuit will waste even more taxpayer money than we already have, but I guess money's no object when the Democrats want to explain away illegal actions and change election results. But getting back to clarity, I'm here for some myself on exactly how little Commissioners Harvey and Marseglia, Governor Shapiro, and outgoing Senator Casey think of the intelligence of Bucks County citizens. It beggars belief that the commissioners were confused by the decision before them. If they were confused, their attorney provided all the clarity they needed. They were told that counting deficient ballots would violate the PA Supreme Court ruling. Nevertheless, they persisted. When the confusion excuse fell flat, Commissioner Marseglia decided to resurrect a go-to excuse from the Obama administration. She said her words were inartful and subsequently misinterpreted. It took Commissioner Marseglia 4 days to come to that realization. Why didn't she realize it immediately? If Commissioner Marseglia couldn't realize it immediately, certainly when she called me Thursday afternoon to respond to a message I'd left
Oh,
at
they left her mic. Oh,
John Solani?
there's Scott.
No. Want to recess this? No.
Oh, Jonas.
There. No. Let me take a recess. All right, we're going to take a 5-minute recess and then we'll be back.
All right, so pretty heated. You know, the first thing to resurrect, and we have the Philadelphia Minority Commissioner coming on today, Dan, and I am going to ask him about Josh Shapiro. And I think Seth is a good guy in Philadelphia. He's got to be more aggressive about this. Good for Joan bringing up Shapiro here and what Shapiro tried to do in all this and how the media is in love with him. This is a guy who is just completely out of bounds. They knew exactly what they were doing. It was very clear what they were supposed to do. The Supreme Court said it twice. This guy's got to be taken on right now. That's Shapiro. That's one of the big fish here. But the only thing that has to come out of this other than anger and continuing forward and to beat them when they're not up, when they're up, which is down the road. Dave Sunday, we're trying to get back on the show. The Attorney General, I want him to at least pledge he's going to look at this when he gets into office and come to a decision about whether in that role, and he certainly has standing, there ought to be election interference or something along those lines on both of them. That's exactly what they did there. There is no doubt about it. She was proud of it. She was defiant. And why? Well, Bucks County, even though it went for Trump, did go overwhelmingly for these two commissioners the last time around. And abortion in 2022 was the issue. What did that have to do with anything with commissioners? Bucks County voters ought to be ashamed of themselves. These people that came up today gave us Dr. Damsker in the basement during COVID. They were among some of the worst that went to Governor Wolf to continue the shutdown at the 11th hour. Remember that? The good afternoon woman, the stuff that we brought you. We brought you Dr. Damsker. The only way there's going to be a reckoning here is at the ballot box. But prior to that, this is an illegal act. Now, we hope to speak with Scott Presler, where, they're in recess now. I'm not sure if he's staying for the whole thing or not. His speech was unbelievable. Here is Bill, who is at the meeting, though, often calls us from Bucks County. So, Bill.
Oh, no. Oh, man. We just had Jim Worthington that was calling us live. 1 sec. Let me get Jim back on. Bill's not at the meeting. He's just watching it on YouTube. We'll get Bill here in a second.
Right.
But we got to get Jim while they're on recess.
Yeah,
Here is Jim Worthington right now.
Yeah. Hey, Jim Worthington. Thanks for Jim, you're with Dom here. I know it's a recess right now. Can you hear me, Jim?
Yeah, I got like 10 seconds, but
Jim.
yeah, they just came back in. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Jim. What are your
Dom?
observations?
Well, the crowd has been respectful, but they just can't believe what they're hearing. And Diane Marseglia has been condescending, and so is Bob Harvey. They're actually getting ready to start again, but it is amazing that the denial of what she did.
Yeah, well, Jim, I wanted to tell people, thank God for the pack you're forming to oppose people like this in Bucks County.
Well, I appreciate that, Dom.
Thanks, Jim.
Hey,
no, you got to go back. Yeah. Okay. That's Jim Worthington.
You want to go back live to them?
Yeah, let's hear a little bit of what they're saying. Thank you.
So we're back. If everybody could be seated. So 2 things. That is not a point of privilege, but we are going to extend time for you anyway to finish what you needed to say.
Good move.
We'll start with that. You have things written down, so I'm sure you'll be done. You can start.
This is Joan Cohen again.
I
Yes.
confirmed it before I came up to speak, but we'll go. So anyway, if Commissioner Marseglia couldn't realize it immediately, certainly when she called me Thursday afternoon to respond to a message I'd left at her office, you think she would have cleared things up then. She didn't. Instead, she said my opinion was priceless because I, quote, support a convicted rapist. That sounds a lot more like defiance to me than someone whose words were misinterpreted. Finally, lest I focus all the attention on Commissioner Marseglia alone, I do want to say that both she and Commissioner Harvey should face consequences. In fact, I think his vote is almost worse. It's one thing for a person to put forth an illegal plan. It's another thing entirely for someone else to hear that illegal plan and say, yeah, I think I want to do that too. Perhaps while we're seeking clarity on things, Commissioner Harvey should also provide his constituents with some clarity and an update regarding his testimony before a federal grand jury concerning government corruption in Falls Township. We never really got a clear answer about his involvement in that. With the way Commissioners Harvey and Marseglia have conducted themselves in this office, it's left me wondering if Commissioner Harvey's past is affecting his present position.
This may be a mistake how it's coming through to me, but it says Liz Oisel.
Okay.
Okay.
All
I
right.
thought they were
So
gonna respond there, yeah.
that Falls Township, and thank God for the Delaware Valley Journal and Talk Radio 1210. That's the only place you'll hear about it. They had articles again this week that the stooge, the second in command guy there, is involved in federal grand jury testimony, as Joan Cohen said, around union activity / government activity there that looks to be something that's being investigated big time. So what the heck is wrong with people in the suburbs that it's come to this? And you saw this outpouring today, but I don't know in Bucks County. It's going to be a long road to beating these two. That's how much the suburbs have changed. This wouldn't have happened in the past in this manner. And you heard Joan Cohen, the response to her call was, will you support a convicted rapist? Oh, my goodness. Oh, God. This cannot end here, though. What has to happen is Dave Sunday is the only authority, I think. Although the Bucks County DA, I'm not sure about that. He's the one, though, that could bring charges here. That's what should happen. And then the big picture is Josh Shapiro. All right, let me give you this side question. We hope to hear from Scott Presler whenever this ends, if it ever ends, and maybe from Joan Cohen, who really was embroiled here. And we'll play you a little bit later some of Scott. We got other people coming on today, too. But the side question, this is an all-timer. Dan found this. Something that won't be here 50 years from now. This from Reddit. And don't say, Donald Trump, or don't say, all right, we'll talk to her coming up.
No,
Okay.
if we want her, we got to take her now.
Okay, all right. Okay, she stepped out on me. Okay. Yeah. I got you. Joan Cohen. Hey, Joan, welcome in. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Dom. Hey, Dan. How are you?
Good. Well, it looks like they let you establish almost all of the family business today. So, Joan, you leave a message. I'm sure Diane got a lot. She calls you back, though, and says, will you support a convicted rapist?
Yeah, that's what she said to me. And then I said, Commissioner Marseglia, do you really want to compound what happened today with, defaming the president-elect? He's not a convicted rapist. And unfortunately, she hung up on me, so I'm not sure if she heard all of what I had to say to her. But I just thought that was so unprofessional because I had called her as a constituent, and she called me back and, spoke to me that way, which an elected official should never speak that way to someone who called them with a concern.
So what's your sense of why my theory, Joan, you've been listening. They're emboldened because Bucks County did elect them overwhelmingly. And as far as I can see, to be honest, they've gotten away with a million things, the COVID stuff. Thank God you referenced the Falls Township investigation with Jim Harvey. They do as they please because they believe Bucks County is going to support them, of all things, on abortion and any number of other progressive issues. I mean, isn't that why she would do something like that?
They definitely have arrogance, but there's that hubris, right?
Yeah.
And that usually comes back to bite you. And I think that's what's happening. I'm sure you heard what Scott Pressler had to say. We did flip the county, and we are going to come to take the courthouse seats back in 2027. And the election before that we'll get some seats too. But primarily the commissioners are what we're going to be focused on in 27. We definitely need a change in leadership. They have definitely gotten too arrogant. But like I said in my public comment, this is not just Bucks County. Whatever we will tolerate here is going to be what's tolerated across the country. And we can't let this go by with no one facing any kind of a consequence for it. So that's mostly what compelled me to come speak today.
Yeah, well, it's Dave Sunday, who I like a lot. That's where I think this lands, Diane. I don't know about the Bucks County DA. We're researching that. I wish he would say something on this. But Dave Sunday, the Attorney General, certainly could go after election interference on this. Joan, I hope you stop by on Monday. You got a lot of people that love what you've done over the years here at the NAC as we celebrate the big victory. Please stop by and we'll chat with you on the air.
All right. That sounds wonderful. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Joan. Great speech today.
Okay, take care. Yes,
and
thank you.
Just remember that. You got to stand a three-point. I don't know if it's a three-point line that's developed there. You got to stand far enough back that you can be heard saying point of privilege, but not close enough that you get near the microphone. Otherwise, they start rolling the clock. Yeah, once they start that clock rolling, that's it. You know?
Oh, yeah, and they're doing a hard cut, too. Right when it hits zero, your microphone's off.
Oh, they can't wait. And they do seem to respond to some people, but they don't respond to things that they don't like. I think they ought to respond there. I think that would go a long way, even if it were heated. Even if Diane Marseglia said, you're out of order, and they said they're out of order back, they ought to respond. She did say to Scott Pressler, bring it on, which is, that's a beautiful cut. Okay. He'll join us a little bit later. Side question. Something that will not be here 50 years from now. Dan, the one that you told me I wrote down was chemotherapy. In other words, like the Jetsons, any doctors out there, will we use chemotherapy 50 years from now?
Hopefully there's a cure, man.
Yeah, hopefully. But I'm saying there must be a reason why you would think science would have advanced enough to do it. All right. How about cars driving on roads? Will we all be driving in the air?
50 years? I don't know.
No way.
Like one of my answers I was going to bring to the table is 50 years from now, I don't think we're going to see electric cars.
Yes, that's right.
I think we're going to revert, and people are already realizing how stupid this whole idea is. That
I don't think we're going to see cars in downtown Philadelphia or New York or wherever because they will have one on that. They're going to get rid of the car there. The car will just be kind of an outlier. All right. So, Henry, how about yours?
Yeah, so I think one of the things we won't see in 50 years is plane rides within this country.
Oh, okay.
You will never take a flight from, say, Pennsylvania to Texas because every car on the road will be autonomous.
Oh, he's going the other way.
Oh, yeah. Every car on the road will be autonomous.
Yeah, but you're not going to want to wait 14 hours in a driverless car.
No, it's not going to be 14 hours because all these cars are going to be talking to each other on the road, and everyone's going to be going 200 miles an hour.
Oh,
and you get
tremendous.
to your destination.
Oh, yeah, that's real safe, Henry.
Glad I won't be there for that.
Are they going to retrofit 676 Vine Street Expressway?
It's a huge infrastructure overhaul.
Are we going to see the double-decker over the Schuylkill that our inspector promised me on the air? I have that tape somewhere. Well, Dom, we're going to get it done. I'll tell you, this time we're going. Election Eve, Dan, he was running desperately, and he said he was going to put a double-decker over the Schuylkill. Can you imagine the boondoggery of it?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. I have another one,
Oh,
too,
man,
guys.
let's go.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
All right, this one's a little more tame.
Yeah.
I'm going to say physical media. There's not going to be any DVDs, Blu-rays, and that's going to be a problem because if everything's going to be on streaming, then all it's going to take is for one of these studios to be like, you know what, this scene in this movie doesn't fit the day and times. It's not, PC, and then they're just going to take it out, and I think that's going to hurt a lot of movies and shows out there.
Okay.
Kind of
You're already seeing it today.
Right where I was going to go with it too, Dom. Personal ownership, I don't think is going to be around in 50 years, and that's for physical media, and I think for everything. You heard what came out of those conventions, and globalists and all that, but I don't know if it rings into that, but I do think there is truth to that you're seeing now housing prices skyrocket, big companies coming in, buying real estate and renting out to people, and it's going to be a society where we rent, not own, and I hate to say, I fear that 50 years from now, personal ownership is going to be gone.
Washington Post just wrote a week ago, the American dream should be a townhouse now. Really?
Well,
that's all you have to look
I'm living the
to.
American dream then.
Oh, yeah, there you go, the no American dream.
Still had bigger things to strive for.
All right. Will baldness be cured? I want to be resurrected if it is during that era to see
How about one more?
Yes, no baldness.
I'm going to take this one off the board just because it's going to anger Dom Giordano.
Okay.
Yeah, how about physical cash will no longer be around?
That's always going to be around. There's always going to be guys with rolls of 20 in South Philly. You're not getting rid of them. I don't know how many of them will be out there, but they'll have cash.
Flying in jetpacks, but still wearing the same gold chain.
The gold chain is staying, too. It's a fashion statement. Go on. 855-839-1210. The high heel will still be here. There will be no scientific invention. You can't do better than that. All right, so hit us with that on the side. Your reaction to what's going on in Bucks County today will bring you some more people from that. It is quite a festival over there, including Diane's apology. 855-839-1210.
When you go on vacation, does it make sense to have someone else pack for you? Of course not. The same can be said for your retirement. Your 401k could be packed with things you don't know about or even need. If you're close to retirement but don't have a plan customized to your goals, that's kind of like taking a 30-year vacation with no idea what's in your suitcase. Seems like a stressful way to start what should be a relaxing time. Jim Cipriotti and the Retire Ready Financial Group can help you unpack your savings and build a plan to help reduce future taxes, along with a clearly defined income strategy. Call Jim at 610-894-7415 for your complimentary retirement game plan, or visit retirereadyfg.com. That's 610-894-7415.
Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
Hey, it's Rich Zeoli. You know, the other day somebody posted a picture of my old house on the internet? It scared me and my family, but luckily it was my old house. See, I signed up for Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo, and this is essential because as part of it, it's personal information removal. I'm so glad I signed up. Personal information removal helps find and remove your personal information like name, email, and yes, your home address from data broker sites or people search sites that store and sell it. And that helps to combat identity theft and spam. Plus, you want the privacy in this day and age, don't you? Of course you do. So just go to duckduckgo.com/1210 right now and sign up for a week on us, a 7-day free trial, and then it's only $9.99 a month. And it includes a VPN, which you need when you're online no matter where you are, and also identity theft restoration. It is the 3-in-1 Privacy Pro solution you absolutely need, and that's why I signed up for it. duckduckgo.com/1210, duckduckgo.com/1210.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
This holiday season, spread some cheer by stopping by Cozy Jewelers for their Black Friday toy drive. From November 23rd through the 30th, save 20% off select in-stock items at Cozy Jewelers when you bring in a new unwrapped toy. Paul Cozy will help you pick out the perfect gift that will make this the most magical holiday ever. Step up to the 5th C. That's color, cut, clarity, carrot, and cozy. Visit Cozy Jewelers in Newtown Square for their Black Friday toy drive, November 23rd through the 30th, or CozyJewelers.com.
Hey girl, it's your new night guy, Jimmy Fallon in the house from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and free on the Odyssey app.
All right, Dom Giordano show. We don't have to hunt for the sound, Dan, and play this because, you know, we play The View a lot. But Joy Behar, who once wanted Dr. Jill Biden to be the Surgeon General, went nuts today. How could Dr. Oz head up Medicare and Medicaid? World-famous heart surgeon, Oprah, the whole thing, the preeminent doctor. I mean, I like his politics, but he certainly can head that up. I think that's a good appointment. And we're trying to get him on, but apparently they're all waiting for FDR, who will be in charge of all this stuff, essentially, to talk. Now, as far as the Department of Education, and this is going to be a long haul.
There's an amazing quote from there, Dom.
Yes.
That Joy says. I feel like you need to hear it.
Go ahead.
But because he's on television, Trump picks people who are on TV. They might as well pick Dr. Pimple Pop. Dr. Oz is a very well-known heart surgeon. Yes. This is an administrative position, but because he's on television.
So essentially she says a well-known heart surgeon doesn't mean he can be qualified to run.
Yeah, it's an administrative position. But Dr. Jill Biden could have been the Surgeon General. Imagine. All right, so the other is Linda McMahon, who's been on the show a lot. Now, here's how this happened. She does have an interest in education secretary. We'll talk about abolishing it. Hold on for a minute. What happened is Trump got tired of this Lutnick guy, who's a billionaire local guy, Dan, hanging around too much or whatever. He wanted to be Treasury Secretary, but he helped out a lot, so they make him Commerce Secretary, which I think McMahon wanted. I think she'd be better suited for her. So she's now Education Secretary. Now, here's why I think that's good. She has background in this. She's been a preeminent advocate of parental rights, of turning this stuff back to the state. And I think Linda McMahon knows, based upon the previous life in wrestling, a lot about all the things that go into a corporation, and in this case, including ending said corporation, the Department of Commerce. Now, this isn't going to be easy. By executive order, Trump can do some things with the Education Department, but just ending it is going to be a difficult proposition, all right? I don't think you can just say, that's it, it's gone. It takes Congress, and that's going to take the Senate, and that might take 60 votes there. But through executive order, through Linda McMahon being there, they can start with any number of things, including Title IX, the transgender thing that's going on with the Biden administration, including student loan debt, any number of day-to-day things that progressives have been using the Education Department to be the troops that go in and inflict on American parents and schools the will of progressives. So what you could see early on is quite a pushback. Linda McMahon can put into deputy roles and all the rest of it people that are not going to do what is being done now. I would have preferred Tiffany Justice, the Moms for Liberty. I think that would have really been a radical change. But McMahon might be better at the dismantling. So don't expect we're going to get rid of it overnight. It's a more detailed fight to do that. But what's going to happen is It's going to be much different. You're not going to see the nonsense that went on there. And I think McMahon internally will be reporting to Trump ways that can make it even more difficult to take away its power and return it to the states where it ought to be. So these are two other really interesting choices. 855-839-1210. The Bucks County meeting making national news. We'll talk with Scott Presler a little bit later on. And it was quite an outpouring today. Now imagine this outpouring in the face of the fact that they've already stood down and said they're not going to, if they had said they were going to continue to count. And I don't want to take away local power, but somebody's got to do something with these bureaucrats like Marseglia, Bob Harv, Harv DeGrasse, holding meetings at 10:30 a.m. Who are all these people that were able to get there today? Imagine if this meeting were held at 6 o'clock tonight. There might be 5,000 people there. You shouldn't allow these groups, and they all seem to do it. I think we remember Chester County was doing something like that. Why in the world do they get to say, well, it's convenient for us. We're going to hold meetings at 10:30 in the morning. Well, it's not convenient for people that want to come out. This is the government closest to them, has a lot to do with their lives. They ought to be made to have to pledge if they're elected. They're going to move to hold these meetings at night, 6 o'clock at night. Why? Why do so many of them get away with this? Usually it's a ghost town at these meetings. It's just activists and the commissioners. Well, today it was packed. Just can't do that often enough, though. And that's how they get away with a lot of the nonsense that they do. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210, AT&T, and Verizon Wireless. All I need you to do is push pound 1210. All right, don't forget to get in, hit us with something you predict will not be a thing, will not be here 50 years from now. We had some really good ones there. Boy, that double-decker over the Schuylkill. Can you imagine now traffic, that we need more traffic reporters. Dan, I don't know if we have that. So when he said it, he was against
who said it? Sorry.
Our inspector.
All right, let me get that.
And nobody can deliver it like he did. And I'll tell you my one wish, I tell you this all the time. I wish you were producing, when we were in Washington, Bob Brady's office, doing this town hall. I was on at 6 o'clock at night then, with all the top Congress people. One of them was Michelle Bachmann, who's very, very conservative. And our inspector told her, act like a lady. It made international news. She just pushed back on what he said about a building. You can act like a lady. For months, this went on. And she said, I think I am. Oh, my God. And I touched him to stop him from the stuff. Now, Dom, you're going to bother me? Act like a lady. All right, 855-839-1210. Get on board. Let's talk Captain Chucky's for a minute. Thanksgiving next week, right? Captain Chucky's has everything you want for that holiday table. Whether you're hosting, going to gatherings, remember how much you can stock up at Captain Chucky's. They're known for their fantastic crab cakes, check, wild-caught Gulf shrimp, and soups. Now, though, they're teaming up with some of the well-known family-owned businesses to offer some great products. Captain Chucky's and Marciano's Bakery of Philadelphia have launched their newest invention, the Bang Bang Crab Cake and Cheese Specialty Bread. Available exclusively at most Captain Chucky locations. Captain Chucky's also has a Taste of Philly section in most stores that carry the following family-owned items. The Great Stocks Pound Cakes. As I mentioned, Marciano's specialty breads, pierogies from the Pierogi Kitchen in Roxborough. That's a tip of the hat to Dan. Yes, Chef Matt's Key Lime Pies, Derby's Philly Famous Clams Casino, and also Vera Pasta Company of Westchester, who produce Captain Chucky's own line of pasta, including the 3 different raviolis, their own lobster, bangin' crab, and finally the shrimp scampi ravioli, and their own jarred blush sauce. Check them all out on the website. So with the holidays coming, this is one stop. You can just stock up for everything, Thanksgiving through the holidays. Go to that one location. Oh, the Dom Roll, too. You got to have them. That one location, welovecrabcakes.com, welovecrabcakes.com. Headed to the shore, Captain Chucky's at theshore.com.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on. and know we'll get through this.
Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Parks Casino. Joe Conklin hosts national comedians every other Thursday. It's Joe Conklin's Comedy Night at Parks. Show dates and tickets. Go to joeconklin.com. JoeConklin.com!
You have key decisions to make about your money. Most investors don't beat the market, and neither do the hedge funds, who take a share of your profits. What if there was another way? A way for you to keep total control over your money where the interests were aligned. That's what the exclusive crash-proof retirement system is all about.
Mike Bisaccia from Logan Township, New Jersey. You can't follow the market because nobody can predict it. What you have today could be gone tomorrow. That's the way it works, up and down, and your money goes up and down. That's what led me to see if there was another alternative. Crash-proof retirement gave me that alternative. With crash-proof retirement, the money you make is credited to your account, and that money's yours. No ifs, ands, or buts, no worries. No fees. We had a high point of 13.5%. Once it's credited, it's your money to keep. That's a big deal.
Schedule an appointment by calling 1-800-722-9728 or visit crashproofretirement.com.
Do you have a property that you no longer want? Maybe you inherited the property. Maybe you're underwater in the property. Or maybe you're just a tired landlord, tired of dealing with tenants. Listen, I can buy those properties, and I'll buy those properties fast. I can close in 2 weeks. I buy properties cash. My name is Larry Steinhaus. Give me a call at 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137, and I will personally answer the call. You can also visit easyOutRealEstate.com. Hey, this is Larry Steinhaus from Investor Schooling. Did you know I have a radio show every Saturday from 1 to 3? It's called The Larry Steinhaus Show, and it's sponsored by Investor Schooling. On this show, you will learn things about finances and things about money that you never knew before. But even more of a reason to listen to this show is how much fun we have. If you haven't heard the banter between me, Omri, and Dr. Deb, you haven't heard the greatest show on earth. Listen to this show this Saturday at 1 o'clock right here on WPHT, and I promise you will learn something.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Enjoy one more mild day today before the weather pattern changes. It'll be partly to mostly cloudy with a high temperature about 10 degrees above average at 64. Tonight, rain develops late, some of it heavy at times, low 48. And for Thursday, some showers around, especially during the morning, turning windy and colder with a high 52.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
She said, I voted for prosperity. Well, prosperity wasn't a bill. It wasn't.
Well, why don't we make it a bill?
Wait a minute. Don't interrupt me. I didn't interrupt you. Act like a lady.
Well, I think I am a lady.
I told you, Dan.
Oh, wow.
That's Arlen Specter. Keep that. You dug it out of the archives. Then I touch him because it's getting kind of crazy here, right? And he goes, oh, Dom, now you're going to get into this?
Just don't interrupt me. I asked her what she voted for. First, she didn't answer anything. Then she said she voted for prosperity. Well, prosperity wasn't a bill that came.
But Senator, let me ask you: is it your position that?
Don't interrupt me either, Don. But she's talking. She's talking from talking point.
Ron Paul was there. He was at Power then too, right? He looks in the room, what's going on, and he walks out. Because we were just. I thought all these people knew each other. Some of them did, some of them didn't. Casey came in too. It was, I mean, you must have had it. And thanks to Bob Brady, who gave us the room to do this in broadcasting out of there. When you get them like that in a free forum, it's crazy stuff happens.
Don't interrupt me. I didn't interrupt you. Act like a lady.
That was the touch. Get me a beer.
I didn't know he did stand-up comedy, too. Because when I was looking for this clip, I found some old stand-up clips.
Yeah, you got something?
Oh, you want to hear something?
Yeah,
oh, man.
Yeah.
I said to Elizabeth, I really now feel great. I just shaved and I feel 10 years younger. And Elizabeth frowned, he said, and said, why didn't you shave last night?
And he had people write that for him. Dan, I remember doing a broadcast, and it's the day that McGreevey said he was gay or it was found out, and he resigned as governor. There was a whole bunch of stuff in Jersey, right? And we're doing a remote at a comedy club for some reason because he was going to be coming on. I don't know, the station. We're talking McGreevey, and then he tried some of his jokes. Oh, my God. Hard to believe.
Bob then told me that Elizabeth was very angry with him because he complained about the cost of Viagra.
Oh, man.
He said, Arlen, you know they cost $10 a pill? And I said, Bob, how in the hell would I know about that?
Oh, man. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
I got more Viagra jokes.
Oh, I got more.
How about putting that double-decker over the Schuylkill Expressway? Oh, my God. Yeah, this guy was here forever, ran for president, Dan. Look, if you're shameless, you just get up there and do stand-up. I only had to do it once. Have either one of you had to do it in a formal setting?
Don't interrupt me. I didn't interrupt you. Act like a lady.
I had to do it at a comedy club. It was a station thing for about 3 minutes. The flop sweat alone was enough thinking about it now. It's incredibly difficult. Really difficult. You got to have paid people laughing in the front. That's
Who wrote your jokes?
Requirement. I had a guy who wrote some stuff for Jay Leno. So
oh, really?
He's a friend. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's the teller, too. I mean, come on, Funny thing happened to me in Poughkeepsie. Come on, give me something to work with
timing?
here. Yeah, comedic timing. It's difficult. Arlen Specter, last of a kind. All right, we're waiting on Scott Presler. We'll get to him when they're still going on with the Bucks County meeting. My God. What's the outcome out of this? Can it be only one? Somebody's going to have to be charged with something here. And the only one that can do that is the Attorney General. The other takeaway is Josh Shapiro. Well, I didn't know what to do. They needed clarification. The media is more in love with Josh Shapiro than any Democrat even I've ever seen. They just can't get enough of his nonsense, this chameleon. So that's why the governor's race in 2026 is important. He has to be dinged up a little bit at least, if not defeated, which is going to be an uphill battle. All right, let's go to side question today. Something that will not be here 50 years from now. In other words, something will be better. There'll be some kind of change, and you're not going to have this. Joe in Bordentown to start off. Hey, Joe, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Would be eyeglasses and contact lenses.
Okay, how come?
Because, first of all, they'd probably be able to genetically make it so that your eyes would not require, vision aids, or they'll have some sort of medicine or surgery that could correct it.
All right, Joe. All these things, I'm still betting you'll have to do a colonoscopy. When are they going to make that where you don't have to do something like that? Well, Cologuard, Tom, not the same thing. When are those cars going to be flying? Dan thinks the electric car will not be here. That's right, because it's a boondoggle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 855-839-1210. Lincoln Riley's stepfather, if I'm right, you're watching too on Fox. I think that the sentence will come down today. Could it be today? We're hearing victim statements.
It's already been decided.
Well, not the sentence. No, they're giving impact statements. The guy who killed her, we can say that now, at least the guy adjudicated to have killed her, the illegal immigrant that was here, that murdered her and raped her and had to hit her over the head with a brick or a stone to fight her off.
State of Georgia versus Jose Antonio Ibarra. Case SU 24CR0323. Count 1, malice murder. I find the defendant guilty.
All right, so it must be the judge in this case. Yeah, jury would have really found him guilty, I think, on double figures counts. All right. I'm not sure. I'll let you know. But if this doesn't call for the death penalty, what calls for the death? And remember where this happened, in Georgia. If this guy doesn't get the death penalty, then why even, you know what? Take away the pretense, America, of the death penalty. I'd rather you just say, we can't do the death penalty for whatever cockamamie reason we hear all the time. So we're not gonna have it anymore. Don't have it on the books. This guy needs a death penalty, and it should be carried out within 6 months. Maybe as a message to other criminal illegal aliens, in addition to what's going to happen on day one of the Trump administration. Is there ever a case that deserves the death penalty? This would be the case. Stalking people, murdering, rape. What more do you need? 855-839-1210. I'm betting probably doesn't get the death. Oh, we're going to give you life imprisonment until some progressive gets in there, and maybe you'll get out. Susan Smith is up for parole. How could Susan Smith get parole? Murdered her kids, blamed it on black men. Remember that in South Carolina. How in the world is Susan Smith up for parole? No character witness has come forward yet for her. We'll see. All right. My friend, dentist, board-certified prosthodontist, Dr. Robert Bentz of the Bentz Dental Group in East Norriton, has got it all when it comes to unbelievable dental care. You start with just his skills. He's very much in demand, lectures all over the place. Other dentists send the most complex cases. You know, when they have trouble, they send them to Dr. Bentz. He does this stuff routinely. But then there's the add-on, way ahead of the curve. Ever since I've been going there, about 10 years, he had the latest in technology, stuff today that some dentists still don't have, and he kept adding to it. We tell you about the 3D printer. What that means is everything stays in-house. He has a great guy, John, the artisan, who actually works with the 3D printer to create your teeth. It's consistent, precise, comfortable for you, all there. Dental implants, same thing. You're just not going to find dental care like this. And you'll see it the first time you go, and he sits with you to tell you what he's seen, what the plan could be, and how you can buy into that. What do you think? Give a call now. Get that initial evaluation, get that initial appointment. You'll see exactly what I mean. I hear from people all the time, yes, this was different, much different care. 610-272-6949. He's out there in East Norriton, Dr. Bentz. It's the BentzDentalGroup.com is the place to go, or 610-272-6949. The Bentz Dental Group. Say it with a smile.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, the voice of the people.
First thing I want to say is a shout out to you guys. You guys are amazing.
Thank you.
You guys make my morning every morning. I voted Trump, my whole family. I obligate my whole family to vote Trump. I am so excited. Like, tears are coming out of my eyes. Like, it's a real thing. I love America. I love this country.
From South Jersey to Delco, from Bucks to Montco, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, we are the voice of the people. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. Better water leads to a better everyday experience. With treated water from Martin Water Conditioning, you can experience silky smooth skin, refreshed hair after a morning shower. Your clothes and towels feel softer. They're no longer battered with minerals. Your coffee and teas taste better. Your appliances using water lasts longer. Even before you leave your home, your entire morning experience is improved with better household water. If you want to experience better water, call Martin Water Conditioning, 800-887-7555, or go online at martinwater.com.
This Saturday morning at 10, tune into a special edition of Your Radio Doctor with Dr. Marianne Ritchie. Get the latest news and information affecting your health and wellness. Your Radio Doctor at a special time, this Saturday morning at 10.
Right now, someone you know is hungry. Right now, a friend needs help with their special needs child. I'm Ernie Russum, Board President of Philadelphia's Catholic Charities Appeal. Please help us give hope to those in need. Donate at CatholicCharitiesAppeal.org. Thank you.
Wawa's hot turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets, because hot turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
me! That's why California Psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee, if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out.
I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything.
Have you tried shopping jewelry television, JTV?
I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different.
JTV has thousands of jewelry styles, artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax?
Yes. Another round?
Yes.
Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel yet? Do it today at 1210 WPHT.
All right, the meeting in Bucks County is adjourned, so we're hoping to hear from Scott Presler a little bit into the next hour, probably. It is quite a scene there. Now the question is the follow-up to this. In other words, what action will be taken for clearly what was election interference? All right, let me go to Bill in Quakertown. All right, Bill, good afternoon. What will not be here 50 years from now?
Good afternoon, kind sir. What will not be here in 50 years? Hopefully it's not here in 50 months. Wind turbines.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the windmills will probably be gone with all that they're pushing against it. You think it's going to be a future of windmills, Dom?
Not off the shore and all that, but I could still, I mean, you know, in more outlying places, not where people have to look at it all the time, I could see it. So, yeah, that's, look, I am all hands on deck. I am skeptical, though, and the new guy is a fracking guy, by the way, that Trump appointed to head up the Department of Energy, not Burgum, another guy. Skeptical of the nuclear energy, though. I get it. You know, it seems on paper to be unbelievable because you don't have the usual drawbacks you have with everything else. And we get a little nervous, though. You know, the ability to be competent and run nuclear power plants is a little bit dicey. Having lived through the Harrisburg 3 Mile Island, that was pretty scary stuff. Then there's Chernobyl. Now, that's the worst. The Russians didn't see. There's a lot of vodka there. They didn't seem to care too much. By the way, you know, we haven't done our TV. We got to get back on Friday to that TV film. If you've never seen it, the HBO series Chernobyl was beautifully done. The cover-up there, even Democrats couldn't come up to what the communists were doing there in the cover-up. My goodness. It was incredible. All right, let's go to Eileen in Lansdale. All right, Eileen, what won't be here 50 years from now?
I believe it will be the U.S. Post Office.
So it'll be privatized?
I don't think it'll be here at all with the way we communicate today between email, Facebook, X, Instagram. I think everything's going to be. I don't think nothing's not going to be anywhere.
That makes sense for letters, and I would even expand with the packages that I think you're kind of leaving out here, with the drone deliveries that are kind of growing and all, and Amazon, becoming a private enterprise. Yeah. You know, really, I don't know. I'm kind of with her. I do think the USPS is sadly going to dissipate as time goes on.
Thanks, Eileen. Well, people the other day got kind of angry, Dan, because on the list of Vivek was privatizing the U.S. Postal Service like an Amazon or getting rid of it. if they do that, I will be amazed. You know how Democrats will be barricaded in post offices. That's their big thing, the post office. Always telling us how effective it is. Oh, stop it already. As far as the Amazon, though, Dan, if I were in charge of a police force, I'm putting thousands of tickets on those Amazon vehicles who refuse to pull into parking spots.
Yep. Oh,
I'm not blaming the driver. They're ordered to do it.
I had to drive over to Fairmount yesterday, Dom, and there was a one-way that I was on, and right next to the Amazon truck was not only one, not only two, but 3 spots worth. Like it was just an entirely open sidewalk.
Exactly.
All you had to do was pull left. An entire block of waiting cars could have passed you, but nope. You're just going to pull up right there, and everyone has to wait and watch you make your deliveries.
Yeah, and we're told, oh, well, you don't want to be honking and doing all that, causing trouble. Pull over.
And I feel like the idiot because if I do start honking, people come out of their houses like, what the hell are you honking at? Well, I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
it turns
exactly.
into like one of those,
It's Bezos again. That's a directive. All right, coming up, we're going to talk to a guy who is a Philadelphia Republican commissioner, the voting infrastructure. What does he think about all this? And Dan and Maisie already putting up Christmas decorations, I believe. A clear violation. We need to know what the time frame is of the Christmas decoration. Now, Roe, I'll call her out here, Dan, is the biggest violator of the end time. We start late, but there have been times where the middle of February doesn't seem to bother her too much. No, not outside. No lights outside, Dan. You don't have that, right? That wouldn't happen in Jersey. That'd be big trouble. You have those up already?
My neighborhood does.
Oh, okay.
And we're like the ones that are dragging butt here. Like we need to put them up, and we're doing the colored lights outside.
Yes. Well, we endorse that, not the white. Maisie's not a white light.
Well,
person.
we had the conversation this year. Are we making the switch? Because we both prefer the white, but in our basement is a bunch of colored bulbs. So.
Oh my God! Just for convenience, you got to convert. You can't put them up till you convert.
Are you are you a big white guy or like a little white guy? Like the big round? Oh, no.
Yeah, yes.
Big colored lights?
Yes. Roe is, of course, the white light thing. What am I going to do? Yes.
Is she like the cascading? What are they called? Icicle lights? Does she like those?
She would like those too. Don't put any more ideas in there. She's shopping right now. All right. Henry, you had something there?
Yeah, I just think it's kind of gross. You're putting up Christmas lights already. Are you being peer pressured into that by your neighborhood, like everyone else?
No. Well, last year we did the Christmas tree already. We did that this past weekend. And
artificial doesn't count.
Well, we did the thing where last year we needed a new artificial tree and we wanted to hit a sale, so we kept waiting and waiting, hoping to get a tree that we'd like, and it never came. And then we ended up setting up one Christmas Eve, and it turned into a whole thing. So we wanted to do it early this year, and we got it done early. But we've been made fun of a lot for it by
exactly.
all of our family.
We will continue into the next hour with that. We're going to talk with this Philadelphia commissioner. What does he think? And is Philadelphia, have they stopped counting illegal votes? We'll find out next on Talk Radio 1210.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly, and it's 100% free to you if you are on Medicaid. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782 to get started today. You get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Hey,
Hey, it's Rich. Zioli, winter is coming. Water will freeze and thaw around your property and into your foundation, and that's when the worst damage will happen. I used to worry about water, but then Garden State Earthworks solved my water problem for good. When we had our wet basement, it was caused by excess outside stagnant water. We called Garden State Earthworks. They assessed and drained the water away once and for all. Call the guy I trust, Lou Vargo at Garden State Earthworks, 856-848-4444 or GardenStateEarthworks.com.
Hi, it's John Asho, the Cars Are from Colonial Hyundai. This month, we're reminded that everyone deserves a seat at the table. And this month, we're making sure everyone eats. Colonial Hyundai is doing whatever it takes to serve up tasty savings, regardless of your situation. Credit issues? Doesn't matter. Everyone eats. Owe too much on your current vehicle? Doesn't matter. Everyone eats. Driving a hoopty? I'll give you 6,500 hours for your trade, guaranteed. No matter the condition, no matter the situation, everyone eats here at Colonial Hyundai. Our lot is like a cornucopia of savings with over 200 vehicles to choose from, and right now you can drive home with 0% financing for 60 months. Everyone eats. We're not just carving up turkey, we're slicing prices at Colonial Hyundai. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with America's best warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain, and Hyundai Assurance. Shop us online 24/7 at colonialhyundai.com. Colonial Hyundai, the faster, easier, better way to buy a Hyundai.
Offers cannot be combined. See store for more details. 0.0% on a new 2024 Ioniq 5 on credit approval from HMFUSA. Offer ends 11/30/20.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED. And it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
On Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. Welcome in. So the hearing in Bucks County, mercifully, I think Bob Harvey ended it, gavelled it to a close at about 1 o'clock. So that was quite a long meeting starting at 10:30. We hope to hear from Scott Presler, who was incredible there. In addition to that, the Dan decoration thing. But we have another commissioner. And it's hard to get on the commissioners in this whole voting process. He is a Republican. He's a minority commissioner. I think, in all places in the area, that would be the minority commissioner now, which is strange. Commissioner Seth Bluestein joins us here on Talk Radio 1210 from Philadelphia. Seth, welcome back to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Dom. Thanks for having me.
So, Seth, give us a sense of what was happening with Philadelphia. It was mainly Bucks County that got the focus, a little bit Montgomery County. Did the media not ask you guys, about what Philadelphia was doing and what kind of rationale could you have? The Supreme Court, prior to this week, said twice you're not to count these ballots this year, right?
That is correct. Yeah, we held a meeting last Wednesday where the commissioners vote on mail ballot sufficiency determinations. And Philadelphia voted 2-1 at that time to count the undated and incorrectly dated ballots. Obviously, I was the one vote against counting them. And then last night, when we held our computation meeting, after the second directive from the Supreme Court, my colleagues joined me in voting against counting the mail ballots this time.
Seth, do you feel, and I'm asking you honestly, you're good to come on, that maybe more of a ruckus should be made? You vote, you give your reasons, but there is no rationale here, right? They said it twice. The only rationale is long term, are they going to say it's constitutional? But they said for this year, because of timeliness, you just can't do it. So it's an illegal action when you're doing that.
To me, the November 1st order from the Pennsylvania Supreme Court was very clear that we should not count those ballots for this election, which is why I voted to not count them.
Okay, I'm asking your other role there as sort of a bully pulpit. Do you feel that's enough? Do you feel that it's out of line? Because to me, I think it's out of line. It's not a judgment call here. I don't think the Philadelphia commissioners have said it quite the way Marseglia did, but I think she interfered in election there, Seth, by saying, I'm going to do this no matter what. She essentially said, you can't do it.
I think that was a big mistake on her part. I can't speak for my colleagues' rationale, but they didn't say it the way she did. And we each had an opportunity to speak before the vote, and I tried to convince them that we had a clear directive from the Pennsylvania Supreme Court that needed to be followed, and my colleagues decided to go the other way.
Seth, looking down the road with this now, the recount, how is this going in Philadelphia? If you could tell listeners exactly what goes on.
Yeah, it's going really smoothly right now. I'm actually at the warehouse as we speak. The recount is started. We began this morning. We have so far recounted approximately 100,000 of the ballots. And we're going to continue working today and tomorrow until it's finished. And what happens is we have to scan every single ballot that was cast, whether it was cast on a voting machine in person or by mail or a provisional ballot. And we have to rerun those paper ballots on different equipment than they were originally counted on. And then we will do a tally of the recount votes to see if anything changed from the original count.
And in your experience, right, I mean, I've talked to the Secretary of State. I think he said 8. I saw 7 recounts that went on, that 3 people conceded before the recount mechanism actually wanted to play, and the others made little or no difference. I mean, it's almost impossible to believe there'd be that much difference.
That's right. Yeah. When the margin is 16 or 17,000 votes, a recount is not going to change the result. A recount, we have a law in Pennsylvania that mandates it when it's within 0.5%. But when you're talking about numbers this big, the result is not going to change.
Now, looking back on election night, this went rather quickly and smoothly versus what it did the last time. What's the reason for that, do you think?
Yeah, prior to this election, we invested in additional ballot opening equipment, and we hired additional staff. So we were able to speed up the count significantly compared to 2020.
Seth, I'm going to ask you a question just broadly. If you have an opinion, if you don't, there's been a lot out there, and I'm not alleging anything on it because I try to answer it my own way. People saying, well, where did all these voters go? In other words, Joe Biden got, 80 million the last time, and Trump had a high number. It was down this time. So if it's down, in reality, why? What is it that happened here?
Well, the first thing I would caution on is there are some states that are not done counting.
Okay.
So we don't really know the final turnout yet in the overall election because California in particular still has possibly millions of votes to count.
Okay.
So that would be the first thing. And then I would just say, look, it's, not surprising that there's a lower turnout. 4 years ago, people were stuck at home. They didn't have to worry about taking their kids to soccer practice or going to commute to work in person. And not every voter is as committed to voting as some others are. So to be down a few million votes across the entire country would not surprise me.
So if it comes to that, I would agree because there was a novelty, too, I would counter those, Seth. There was a novelty of mail-in balloting. This time around, people are more veteran about it. Wouldn't you think more of them would have done that? And because this is equally intense, if not more so, than previously.
I think people prefer to vote in person when they're able to.
Okay.
We have seen since 2020, so in 2021 through this year, a drop in people choosing to vote by mail. In 2020, 50% of our voters voted by mail, and that number has been closer to 25% since then.
Mm-hmm.
So people really, if they're able to make it to the polls, would prefer to vote in person.
All right, I asked Al Schmidt this too. I think there should be more power with the Secretary of State, particularly what we saw going on in Bucks County. I respect, certainly, it's a credo, the local control of things. Do you support more power for the Secretary of State to be a force intervening here? This was pretty bad. Or what should be the mechanism for something to happen here after the Marseglia statement and they kept on counting the ballots?
Yeah, it's a really delicate balancing act. Of course, we want to govern ourselves at the most local level possible and have our representatives, whether they're state representatives or county commissioners, being able to make decisions that make the most sense for how elections are run at that county. That being said, it is important that we have uniformity across the Commonwealth. And if we are able to find ways to empower the Secretary of State a little bit more to enforce that uniformity, I think it will benefit us in the long run.
Yeah, without a doubt, because then we don't have all this hopefully this election is going to start to restore a little bit of the confidence in it. And I think it was on the way to that until we saw this with, of all things, Casey McCormick. Who would have predicted that?
Yeah, and that's the biggest shame. Election day went so smoothly. I think with counting the mail ballots quicker than 2020, we really were on a path to instilling greater confidence. And this has really set us back. And we need to take a look at how we can not allow this type of problem to happen going forward.
Exactly. Seth, thank you. Anytime. Keep us in the loop. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it.
All right, there's a commissioner in Philadelphia and the Marseglia thing. We're going to invite her on. We had that moment today with Scott Presler when he said, he always says, peacefully, peacefully, we're coming to take back the State House. And she said, we don't comment, but with Scott, she said, bring it on. So already we're into 2027 here with this going on. We hope to hear from Scott sometime this hour maybe. And don't forget, Monday, you got to be at the NAC, Newtown Athletic Club, right there in Newtown. There'll be food and drink. Jim is a very generous host, and we're going to have all the players there who brought 2024 successfully to Donald Trump. You'll have Scott Presler, Jim Worthington, the master fundraiser, the architect of the McDonald's thing, Linda Kearns, who is in the middle of the recount stuff right now, I think, and assorted others who were all part of this. Come on out. You'll have a chance to sit, listen to the show, talk to some of these principals, meet them, and celebrate what was an incredible commissioners hearing today. Just waiting to see how the Bucks County Courier-Times and others cover this. And are people in Bucks County not understanding how bad? You just heard the commissioner in Philadelphia. This went through pretty smoothly. We didn't have as much stuff as we thought. Then all of a sudden, the whole world, I'll tell you, nationally, I've been on several shows, is looking at what she did here and knowingly that she did it. That's where the Attorney General comes in. I know he won't be in office, so I guess it's mid-January or so, but we hope to have him on and just let you know in broad terms, is this something you would look at? Clearly, to me, and I don't have the statute, but clearly in general principles, this is election interference in the Casey McCormick thing, which drones on. Again, the NAC on Monday, and no registration, no fee. You'll have a good time, and I think you'll enjoy meeting the people who are actually, and they'll be on the air with me. It'll be quite an event that actually pulled all this off. All right, side question today, thanks to Dan's research on Reddit. 50 years later, something that will not be here. And Dan, any more on the, I guess we won't have Christmas trees. We'll all be artificial. What's the official count? Each year they usually give that. Each year it does go up, more artificial trees.
Yeah. Well, it's the way of life. It's the better way of life.
I don't think so. I just think it's that Christmas trees lately have been so expensive.
Well, that's certainly true.
Okay.
Yeah,
Don't want to go
exactly.
spending that money every year.
Exactly.
But why do you want to spend hundreds of dollars year after year to have a thing that dies and is a fire hazard in your family?
All right. Roe may have to make only the third call in history here on this one. I think she can explain it better. All right. No artificial tree. Are you kidding me? Like she'd rather burn it than have anything in there. You can't be doing that. Henry, are you an artificial tree guy?
Absolutely not.
Oh, thank you.
No, I'm a purist through and through.
Okay, good. I thought so. I could take a look at you. And Dan and he was proud that he had the decorations up early. Take an artificial tree out of some closet and put it up. I mean,
was it already pre-decorated, Dan?
Yeah,
too?
did you keep it decorated?
So it's one of those it was an artificial tree, and let me give you a cheat code. We use something called a cashmere fir artificial tree, and it's like a new kind of artificial tree that looks really realistic. And in there, they had LED bulbs already ingrained, so I don't have to wrap the tree in light. But Dom, we put on ribbons, we put on beads, we have giant ornaments, little ornaments,
tinsel.
It took all of 10 minutes.
We forgot the tinsel.
Oh, that's right, 10 minutes to do this. Yeah. Oh God. It's embedded.
You know what? It actually took an entire Sunday.
Oh, my God.
While I watched football.
Oh, okay. 855-839-1210. You can get on board. And again, this showdown today was quite something. Linda McMahon, Education Secretary, Dr. Oz in the cabinet. Coming up, Pete Hegseth. They're going after his tattoos now. Morning Joe says that Trump is scheming. Like Trump would tell him this, that there might be somebody else other than Pete in the wings. Now, I think Pete Hegseth is going to get confirmed. Gates, I don't think so. If he wants to appoint him, I think it's going to be a recess appointment. The rest look pretty clear at this point, but there's a couple more appointments that will be made that we'll see. Phone lines, 855-839-1210.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
You've been served by the District Court 1210. You're hereby scheduled to fulfill your sentence on this 20th day of November, 2024, starting at the base of the Art Museum stairs.
On your mark, get set, go! Come on.
Hold the flag up, Jimmy.
Here he comes.
There it is.
There he comes.
There it is.
Look at that. Look at that.
Well, we made it. My bet settled.
He did that pretty quickly, too.
Yeah, 32 seconds.
That's what, 32 seconds into a 72-step flight? That's not bad.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Hey, it's Nick Kale, and we know that your online privacy is of the utmost importance in 2024, and that's why I use Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo, the 3-in-1 subscription service that DuckDuckGo uses with VPN, personal information removal, and identity theft restoration. But I want to highlight the personal information removal feature. We're constantly online, bank account information, social security number, credit cards, but now with the help of DuckDuckGo, it gets removed. No hackers, no scammers, no more privacy infiltrating companies. DuckDuckGo helps shut them all down. Getting ready for a home purchase next summer, purchasing golf stuff online, all of that in good hands with DuckDuckGo, and I don't have to sweat it. If you want the same sense of safety and security as I have, then take advantage of their free 7-day trial offer. Just visit DuckDuckGo.com/1210 today. After that, it is just $9.99 per month. DuckDuckGo.com/1210.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for Business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling.
I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, this is Jimmy Fallon in the house, and dig this, folks. This is not a drill. It's the real thing. You can now join me weeknights from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT or anywhere on the free Odyssey app.
All right, it is Dom time. Welcome in. What I'm going to play you goes back to July of 2013, so well ahead of a couple of years after that one. What was it, June of 2015, when President Trump announced he was running for president. And I remember talking about him. I don't know if it's because of the Obama birth certificate thing or not, but here's Trump way back then talking with some Brit, not Piers Morgan, somebody else, about, hey, if I run for president, what will my slogan be? Cut 11.
Donald Trump, let's indulge the thought that you are going to run for the presidency of the United States in the year 2016. What's the slogan going to be?
I think my slogan would be, Make America Great Again.
That's too long. Come on with something pithier.
No, Make America Great Again. You're talking about 4 words. I think it's a very precise slogan. I mean, that would probably be my slogan, Make America Great Again.
Now, remember when Trump ran the second in 2020? He started fiddling around with Keep America Great because they said, well, it's not logical. You made America great again. Now you want to keep it great. And then to my ear and to his, exactly, he dropped it immediately and just went back to it. Doesn't have to, slogans don't have to make logical sense. They just have to broadly be something that captures the imagination. And this is the biggest that has sustained itself. So that's all the way back to 2013, Make America Great Again. Now, I know at some point in there he talked to Rick Santorum, who wrote Blue Collar Conservative. And I had Santorum in for an event. And Trump embodied a lot of these things already, but it kind of fleshed them out for him. The biggest still, I think, and we're seeing this play out right now, the biggest is Trump, stay out of these unending wars. So aside from on day one, the deportation stuff, now Texas has given, I think it's, I have it somewhere in my notes, it's like 1,402 acres of land near the border to be part of the staging area for mass deportations. Immediately, Democrats saying, aha, these are where they're going to put the camps to put people in. Well, they're going to bring people to these central spots near the Texas border, and then from there, they'll be deported. You can't just, in the mechanism of deporting them, how do you get people out of there in an efficient and safe manner? But right away, that's what this is being called. Governor Abbott was on today, and boy, you know, I wish he did more interviews. I'd like to salute this guy. The last few years we've talked about it. Was there a better policy, and I would argue moral policy in the end, and politically correct policy, than Abbott saying, we're not going to just burden Texas. We're going to be busing people to your cities, and then we'll see how you like it. And they didn't like it. They went crazy. They just wanted these people in Texas to be overwhelmed with this. We're seeing it play out right now in the Laken Riley murder trial. We're hearing witness testimony and the sentencing, the impact statements. I don't know if anybody spoke for this guy, but the sentencing could happen even this afternoon during the show. And again, clearly, without a doubt, this is a death penalty case. Do I think he'll get that? No, I think we've come to a point, even in Georgia, you might not get it. Even though the impact, the nonsense, well, I would do away with the impact statements. I'm not really a fan of that for this simple reason. You know my mantra. I don't care who it is. If you meet the requirements of first-degree murder, you murder someone, even if they're the worst person alive, but you meet the requirements of first-degree murder, then you get the death penalty as soon as possible. It doesn't matter who it is. Now, Laken Riley, particularly, is sympathetic, young, innocent. There's no association with this guy, nothing, rape, the whole thing. But we shouldn't indulge in that. That's the game that they play. It's a simple thing. I don't care what Josh Shapiro or Josh Shapiro's son says. I would debate that guy anywhere. I'm talking in the middle of downtown Philadelphia, wherever he wants. You kill somebody, you get the death penalty. You get the best lawyers if you're on trial for your life, the best forensic evidence investigators. We ought to spend that because this is serious business. But this guy clearly did this. And there's only one penalty that should be there. None of this back and forth, double life, triple life. We don't want to hear any of that. He gets the death penalty as soon as possible. And that shouldn't take that long. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. We'll see what they do in Georgia. But here in Pennsylvania, I would remove the death penalty as a potential since we don't do it. And since Josh Shapiro is not going to sign it, why continue this fraud? And is Pennsylvania that changed now? Think of upstate Pennsylvania. Look at what happened in Pennsylvania, Trump win. Do people not want the death penalty? It'll be interesting. And I would predict not going to happen in this case. You know, the usual arguments, that won't bring her back. What does it take before that happens? Her case, though, is broader than that. The broadness of it is that this never should have happened. We have enough of our own that are criminals here. They go to the Roosevelt Hotel, and then are offered a chance to fly into Georgia at our expense. How much more do you need? And day one is going to be spectacular. Remember that when you hear the 1,402 acres, it's already being called a prison camp, a concentration camp. It's a holding area so that they efficiently and clearly remove those who are supposed to be deported already, 1.3 million. It's going to take a while to do that. All right, let's go to Robert in Bensalem on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Robert, afternoon.
Hey, Dom, how you doing today, man? It's good to talk to you.
Same here.
I really like what you're saying as far as how we're going to deal with these problems. Instead of dealing with it in an angry way, just take the long-term view because we seem to do well when we do that. And I hearken back again to Roe v. Wade taking 50 years. But just keep preaching that, Dom, because that is going to be our path to victory insofar as increasing our numbers as opposed to just keeping things hot and angry. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, I saw it to that point, Robert, that Mike Johnson has made several points today about the transgendered bathroom. And he made a good point. You already have your own facilities in your offices. There are multiple other facilities that you can use. And he said it's based upon biological males. So I'm not sure what this representative is going to say he or she is. In theory, she's a female. But what's the determinant of that? I think if you still have male genitalia, you're a male.
I don't even think, even if you get rid of your male genitalia, you're still a male. You just don't have any genitalia anymore. There's nothing you can do to your body to make yourself the opposite gender. It's impossible. Okay, and from that aspect,
yeah, Johnson's handling this correctly. It's a very sober, calm, with dignity. The whole thing, he's doing it correctly.
And I think that that's going to be a theme in the Trump administration. They're not going to let the media rile them up this time.
No.
For my side question, I want to go with a rather mundane answer. They've been around since 3500 BC. The modern versions were invented in 1790. They came up with a machine to make them in 1821, but in 1968, Puma came up with the first Velcro shoe. My answer is the shoelace.
Wait a minute. I'm anti the Velcro. If you're the Velcro guy, Robert, please say you don't have Velcro sneakers on right now. Please tell us that.
No, I don't, but I'm starting to look at them, Doc.
Oh, no. That's it.
Is that just something that happens at a certain point in life that you're like, yeah, the Velcro might be a good idea?
Well, I was working with somebody who was younger, and she did not know how to tie her shoes. She had never tied shoes before, and that floored me. But, you look back at the old ones where they used to have 8-foot-long laces going up the shin and all that. I don't think we really need all that, Dom. They could probably come up with high-performance Velcro like they came up with.
Oh, God, no. Just the sight of it, my God. Why don't you just play shuffleboard in Florida after that? That's all you're going to have. Come on.
And they're only white New Balances, too.
Yes.
I'd rather do pickleball in Philadelphia than shuffleboard in Florida.
All right.
Guys have a great day.
Thank you,
right?
Robert. Our next springtime agenda, I think we should have a pickleball tournament.
Ooh.
Yeah, since Dan is non-compos mente when it comes to the physical
I can't reach
activities.
my toes, so I don't think I can play pickleball.
Well, I would tag Henry in for this, though. You may have to let him tag
you
in
see
on
all
this.
the bending over that has to go on?
I think Dan might be.
I'm not very flexible either.
Plus a 6'8" off the ground, It's tough for a tall
okay,
guy to
all
bend
right.
over
Well,
like
you can
that.
just be the official keeping score here. All right.
It's just physical activity. You know what my response
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's why I'm tagging. That's what Henry's being groomed to be part of.
Henry just came off a big soccer game last night, so yeah, he's ready.
And we got crushed.
All right. So Velcro shoes, the future. Oh, it's going to be so glorious. Velcro is going to be cool.
It's going to be like Back to the Future with the Air Mags, the auto tying shoes.
Yeah. It might be a side question. Something, no matter how they try to fashion it, it's still never going to be cool. Yeah, the Segway.
Segway, 100%.
Bicycle helmet.
Oh, yeah. The helmet that they wear with the Segway,
Yeah.
But
even wearing a bicycle helmet, I don't ride a bike now.
Hold on, are you endorsing not wearing a helmet while riding?
No, I'm just saying, no matter what you do with it, it doesn't look too good to me.
No, you look like a dork.
Yeah, it is.
How about the skater helmet, yeah? Like the round ones?
Those are better, but...
Yeah, it's hard. I would wear a helmet if I rode a bike.
Oh, yeah, I think you have to.
Yeah.
Especially riding in Philly.
Oh, yeah. 855-839-1210. You get on board, jump in, hit us on the side question, and everything else in play. Talk Radio 1210. Let's talk about FanDuel for a moment here. Let's see if we can get you some good bets here because the NBA is back, and FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook, wants to catch you up on all the action. Right now, FanDuel is giving everyone 3 months of NBA League Pass. All you have to do is catch every tip-off and buzzer beater, place any $5 bet in the NBA just to get 3 months of NBA League Pass, courtesy of FanDuel. All you have to do is visit FanDuel.com/DOM, D-O-M. Make every moment more this year. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. After a 3-month free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime, no refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 pass per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
Do you have shoe boxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
Hey man, come here. You're not gonna believe it. I picked up this beautiful model. She's down here.
A model?
Yep, got her from the train store.
In your basement?
See?
Oh, model train.
Whew. Yeah, what'd you think I was talking about?
Nicholas Smith Trains. Become the conductor with any model you can imagine, from classics to new releases and holiday-themed engines. Don't forget to visit Nicholas Smith Trains and Toys this holiday season. NicholasSmithTrains.com.
Howard Eskin here, and get game day ready at your local PA Fine Wine and Good Spirit store with the original Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey for $3 off 750 milliliters and $2 off Jack Daniel's Fire, Honey, and Apple 750s, or a 4-pack of Jack and Coke or Jack and Coke Zero Sugar, now ready to drink in a can for $1 off. Jack Daniel's, born for the tailgate, and please drink responsibly.
Whiskey Specialty, 7% ABV, Jack Daniel's Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniel's and Old Number 7 are registered trademarks of Jack Daniel's Properties, Inc. Coca-Cola is a registered trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
There's a reason that potato chips don't come in a clear bag.
There's only 8 chips in this bag.
That's why. It's only about 2/3 full. The rest is air. It's a lot like opening up your 401k at retirement. You get about 2/3 of it, and the rest goes to Uncle Sam. Jim Cipriotti at the Retire Ready Financial Group can help. His tax mapping process can help forecast what your tax bill will be in the future, and that way you can build a strategy now to potentially decrease your tax bill in retirement. In other words, more for you and less for Uncle Sam. Call today for your complimentary retirement tax mapping report, 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415, or find them online at retirereadyfg.com. And get Uncle Sam's greedy hands out of your retirement.
Hey, you've had enough.
With a complimentary tax mapping report from Jim Cipriotti. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Their video interview tool makes it easy and effortless to meet with candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Enjoy one more mild day today before the weather pattern changes. It'll be partly to mostly cloudy with a high temperature about 10 degrees above average at 64. Tonight, rain develops late, some of it heavy at times, low 48. And for Thursday, some showers around, especially during the morning, turning windy and colder with a high 52.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Dom Giordano's show. One update, the Trump people have, the Trump lawyers have filed today, it was a little while ago, to dismiss the charges in New York. Andy McCarthy saying the game that Bragg and maybe Judge Marchand are playing, they think President Trump ultimately could go to let this dangle over his head, this ridiculous situation, to say that he is not a felon, he's not convicted of anything throughout his presidency. Because the argument is, if he doesn't trigger this and get sentenced by Marchand or dismissed by Marchand, then Bragg can get his way, hold this over him, use that as an impediment of some sort, and then strike after the presidency. So it'll be interesting to see what's in his mind. I know I would argue, if I were there sitting with him, they're already going to say you are a convicted felon. If somehow or another this gets dismissed, even if on appeal. The media is going to run with that. We heard today from Joan Cohen, who calls us a lot, big friend of the station, was over at the meeting. She had a showdown with Diane Marseglia, the president or the leader of the Bucks County Commissioners. And she told us she talked with her on Thursday last week, since she's a constituent. And Diane said, well, you support a convicted rapist. In other words, the media is going to be hard and fast on you're a felon, etc. And they've kind of frozen that in the minds of people. And they'll continue with it. They won't stop doing it, even if they know that it's false, even right now, until you're sentenced. That's when it becomes official. So what will Trump do in this? Well, his attorneys made a move today to dismiss this. It's going to be interesting to see where Bragg goes. But Bragg, I think Andy McCarthy's right, and Marshawn are trying to play on this idea. This isn't a winner for them, but what they can win is the delay, and all this goes away, what they're going to live. You can't appeal. Alan Dershowitz said you can file a writ of mandamus and ask for an extraordinary to get the appeals court involved here to do one of two things. To tell Bragg, no, you got to stop this. This is ridiculous. You're not getting an extension of 4 years, whatever it is. Or, because of the immunity ruled on by the Supreme Court, dismiss it. What's the power of this? Well, they believe they have the upper hand here. And this is how defiant and continuous this is. They're willing to wait 4 years. They think they can still say, well, Trump's convicted. Let's just lay this out there. Trump's going to say, no, I'm not. I'm not a convicted felon, since you're not a convicted felon until the judge gives sentence. All right, I'd advise to bring this to a head now. They're going to say you're a convicted felon no matter what. And we don't want this hanging over for 4 years, playing around with this. Now, Trump may think differently. He may think it's no skin off my nose. I can deal with this. He dealt with, if he lost the election, the outcome might be different as far as all these legal cases. They certainly would be. Here is the hall monitor of CNN, Brian Stelter, talking about why Mika and Joe. No, here it is. It's Scott Jennings, Dan, cut 14. Mocking Brian Stelter, who says that Mika and Joe only tried to make up with Trump because they are afraid of retribution.
It's so jarring to watch. It looks a little hostage video-y to me.
Right. Détente, appeasement, I don't know what to call it. You know, Joe and Mika didn't say much about it today, but according to my sources, they believed, they credibly were concerned that they faced governmental and legal harassment with this incoming administration. Essentially, that they feared retribution, and that's partly why they sought out this meeting.
What kind of retribution are we talking about here?
You know, I think there's a wide spectrum, and to be fair to Brzezinski and Scarborough, they're not the only MSNBC hosts or the only, the word journalist is complicated, right, because they're more like personalities, but there are a number of journalists at places like the AP and other big news outlets that are concerned about retaliation in the coming months. Anything from IRS audits to lawsuits and things like that. There are media outlets bulking up on lawyers, thinking about having more libel insurance, those sorts of things. Now, I don't know exactly what the specific concern Joe and Mika had was or wasn't, but they're not the only MSNBC personalities worried about retaliation. However, they are the only ones to go down to Mar-a-Lago and have a meeting.
Yeah, Scott, you were shaking your head.
I mean, isn't it possible, too, that they're just two people who are so full of themselves, so full of self-aggrandizement, that they would feel like that they would be personally
Scott,
singled out?
Don't tell anyone, but some of their colleagues feel that way.
Well, first of all, I can see why. Second of all, if that's what happened, and if that's what they truly believed, why didn't they go on TV and say that? We went down there to meet with the president to tell him that, hey, anyone who's been critical of you, you should treat us like journalists and not like the enemy. They didn't go on TV and say that. They went on TV and portrayed it much differently. So what I hear you saying in your reporting is they had a motive that they weren't willing to disclose to their audience, which I think should get them more scorn today than they were already getting to begin with.
I think that's a fair point.
All right, so back and forth with this. They're obviously doing this now. Comcast is spinning off MSNBC for a lot of reasons, so not sure what's going to happen with CNN. All right, 855-839-1210. I'm looking, Dan, here. You may want to, can you bump into Georgia, the sentencing on Fox? I can summarize the first one.
For vacated by operation of law. Count 5, life in prison consecutive to count 1. Count 6, 20 years to serve consecutive to count 5.
All right, I got enough of it, Dan. Thank you. All right, so it's Georgia. What does it take to get the death penalty? And this was a judge, not a jury here. What does it take? I just think they've worn us down with this, that even in Georgia, it's not Pennsylvania, it's not California, it's not New York. It's Georgia. I know Georgia has changed. Look at the election cycle, et cetera. So for this vicious attack, rape, premeditated, et cetera, here illegally, goes there, stalking women, he gets life imprisonment. And on another count, another life imprisonment on top of that. How in the world does that happen? What is it that's out there? If this case is not so heartbreaking and so ridiculous that you cannot put the death penalty in there. I think Georgia still has a death penalty. I'd be shocked if they're not. Maybe Georgia has changed so much that a judge like this, no, we're not giving the death penalty for anything. And they go through all these counts, and we're adding consecutive life, another life term without parole. 855-839-1210. What is it that has made the death penalty pass? Are they saying, was there any doubt in this case? It was overwhelming. What do you need before? And it wouldn't happen for X number of years. And again, I say with any of these cases where death penalty is potentially there, you should get the very best lawyers. That should be decided in advance, whoever the best defense lawyers are. More importantly, big budget for investigative services. They had highly qualified people in this case. It didn't take long to see that this was what we thought it was. And yet, no death penalty. Well, Dom, isn't it good enough they're going to be in jail for the rest of their life? Oh, my goodness. Let me, it's next time I talk to Maureen Faulkner with Mumia still sitting here writing books and libraries. This clown, some pro illegal immigrant thing, will put him on top of something as an exemplar of something. When Georgia can't do it, there is really no death penalty in America. It's come to that. I give the other side credit. They've worn it down constantly here. That's what happens. All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board. Dan time today? I know it's been a busy morning here. I thought you had something from
I got a little something going on.
Something. All right. And we'll get to the side question, but I'd love to get your reaction to this. Maybe you've changed. I'd love to hear a call that says, well, come on, Dom. I used to be, but I just, Christian faith, this, how are you so sure? We're more sure today than we've ever have been with DNA, et cetera. And again, if it costs millions of dollars for someone on trial for the death penalty, that's money worthwhile spent that they get absolutely the best defense possible. It was overwhelming in this, and that's why it's over so quickly. I don't know how the family feels in this. They may feel, well, that's enough. All I do know is the family of the officer killed by that punk from Buckingham, allegedly, they want the death penalty, and Larry Krasner wouldn't even talk to them about it. He had some backup person delivered to them, no death penalty for you. Well, the family doesn't want it. That's what Shapiro always says. Is that true? Well, what good does it do? It does something to protect the rest of us. That's what it does. And it stops this person, and it sends a message. And if done hundreds of thousands of times, that's right, maybe it has an effect that triggers some defense against this. All right, let's talk about Batteries Plus Bulbs. At Batteries Plus Bulbs in Mount Laurel and Northfield, two big stores, my friend Roy is looking for help. And the reason is people know the right place to go when they need help. I'm talking about anything that's technical, your phone. Businesses go there. And we want to send more people. So he's looking for a handy do-it-yourselfer would be ideal, a great low-pressure part-time job. Customer service is king there. Anything you need with Batteries Plus Bulbs, they have it right there, or they get it almost instantly. But you've heard over the years some of the stuff that he's been involved in. Grateful listeners, Roy always says, just remind people, we power it, we light it, and we also fix it. That's what you get here. It's a phone call away. Call them first if you want, 856-638-0778. Two big stores, Route 73 in Mount Laurel, and in Northfield on Tilton Road. 856-638-0778. 888-848-9878.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, the voice of the people.
What a day to celebrate. I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like I have a New Year's morning hangover I haven't had since college.
What you guys have done over there in this election is unbelievable. Having Pressler on all the time, having Laura Trump on, having Linda Kearns on. That stuff goes a long way.
From South Jersey to Delco, from Bucks to Montco, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware. We are the voice of the people. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Homeowners, improve your family's comfort with a Bradford White water heater and enjoy all the hot water your household needs all day, every day. With Bradford White, you get more than just a water heater. You get our commitment to quality and reliability that you can trust. How you heat your water matters, so don't compromise when it comes to your home or your hot water. Bradford White water heaters are built to be the best because your home deserves it. Visit BradfordWhite.com to learn more and find an installation pro near you.
Wawa's hot turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets because hot turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
California Psychics is the real deal. They helped me out, totally changed my attitude, totally got me psyched to start my business and to take a new path in my life.
At California Psychics, we only connect our customers with the best. We reject 98% of the psychics who apply to us, so we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Hey, Warminster, we know your favorite station is WPHT.
Tell your smart speaker to play 1210 WPHT.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
It's Dan time.
I can handle things. I'm smart, not like everybody says.
With Dom.
That's right, it's Dan time, that time of the afternoon where producer Dan takes over for a little bit and gets his, what he wants to hear from Dom Giordano. Particularly right now, Dom, I want to hear about sports because there's been a breaking news that I haven't heard your opinion on, and I want to hear what you say. It's not breaking now, it was breaking yesterday, but the Joel Embiid Tyrese Maxey conversation that allegedly happened in the locker room where Tyrese Maxey says to Embiid, allegedly, quote, Joel, you know I love you, but it starts with you and your habits. Maxey now essentially nudging Embiid to be a leader. Your thoughts on that, Dom?
I think it's true. It sounds true to me, to people that did the story, and he's tight with Embiid, sort of. For him to speak up publicly like that, though, with other players and all that there, wow. And it's indicative, it's pretty hard to look at Embiid, even with all the injuries, et cetera. My big opinion on this is what you get when you play around with the process and all that nonsense. You get a flawed guy. That's not the way to win. And it's an indictment of pro sports. How's that? With all the caps and all the nonsense. That's why I put up with it, but I don't like any
Well, you're
of it.
saying the first thing he learned in the professional leagues was how to lose, essentially.
Yes,
you know, right?
yeah, he
Like,
did.
That's what he was
yeah.
taught how to
Yeah,
do.
exactly.
Henry, your thoughts?
Well, I disagree with that sentiment that they were taught to lose. But from that report, I want to know who leaked that. Who leaked that to Shams Charania? How did that get out of the locker room? Who is the person that leaked that to the press to get that out there?
They're,
Maybe
Jerry McCain.
They're fed up.
Not Jared McCain. If anyone, I want to point fingers at the coach.
They're fed up with what Embiid's doing. So yeah.
Dom, I want to swing to the world of entertainment. This comes to my attention from Henry, who has a theory about this. Maybe get into some conspiracies. But over the weekend, Jay Leno, Dom, he turned into a comedy show with an eye patch, an entire face that was covered in black and blue marks, and he allegedly fell down a hill. Take a listen from Inside Edition.
Jay Leno says he was staying at a Hampton Inn about 30 miles outside of Pittsburgh on Saturday night when he wanted to have dinner at a local restaurant before his show. Instead of walking a mile and a half down the road, he decided to take a shortcut down the hill. Not a good idea. This is believed to be the steep incline he tumbled down.
Well, I hit a bunch of rocks. It was 60 feet.
Incredibly, the famous workaholic legend performed just 3 hours later without even taking a day off to nurse his injuries. Last night, he was back at it again,
That guy worked
performing at a comedy show in Beverly Hills. This is just the latest mishap to afflict Leno.
And that's right, because there was that fire that ravaged through his garage a couple years ago where it left him with horrible, horrible burn marks. But Henry came to me with a conspiracy theory that I want you to address. Henry, what was that theory?
Yeah, so something that's been floating around because of kind of the circumstances here is he in gambling debt? Is he in just serious gambling debt so much that like mob type people are coming after him and hurting him? They're setting fire to his garage.
It's really
they're pushing. Maybe they didn't push him down a hill. They just beat him. I mean, that visual of that hill they showed in that clip. There's no way he ever thought, you know what, I can walk down this. And another thing is, why is this multi-millionaire legend comic staying at a Hampton Inn? Are you kidding me?
Well, the Hampton Inn, 30 miles away, is not a good sign. Well, he might be in debt and he's economizing.
My more realistic theory that I propose, I don't know, maybe that the guy is so obsessed with cars that he got into a car crash but doesn't want to admit that he got into a car crash. So instead he said he takes a tumble down a hill. I don't know. It just seems like a really weird story to fall down a hill and turn out the way he did. And it's sad, to be quite honest.
It's not even a hill. That's like a cliff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I can get down there. No, you wouldn't.
I have some hard feelings to Jay Leno. He called me the Barry Sheck or something of talk radio.
Really?
Hosts. I had him on. I thought they were legitimate questions. This is when he was king, and he didn't take a liking to. I think we have that tape somewhere. All right.
I got to find that tape. That's all I got for Dan time.
Okay, coming up, we're going to talk with one of the people who won Pennsylvania for President Trump, Sean Parnell, but also he told me the other day he was one of the guys with Pete Hegseth at the founding of the Veterans Group that made Hegseth on the path to where he is today. What are his thoughts about Hegseth and the Department of Defense? And also, what about Sean Parnell in something like that, some kind of role there? Hegseth under fire for tattoos. It's ridiculous. They're not white supremacy. I'm looking at the ADL website who said these are some of the things that some Proud Boys and these other groups have taken on as white supremacy codes. The number 14, the number 6. It's all over the place. So obviously, will he bare his chest and we'll see the tattoos and they'll scrutinize him during the Senate confirmation? I think he's got a reasonable shot still to be confirmed. We'll talk to Parnell about that and what he's hearing, and Dom's Money Melody, all that coming up. You know, it's important to make sure that our families have the essentials, food, shelter, and, of course, pure, clean drinking water. A lot of news about drinking water these days. Just do what I did. Count on Martin Water Conditioning to secure your family's drinking water. The Connecticut system removes all the impurities from the water, and what comes out of the tap then is crystal clear, all-natural water. Tastes better, too. Best tasting water ever. Provides peace of mind knowing that your family's water is pure and clean. The Martin Water Conditioning family is passionate about water. You'll see that. They love, over 46 years, showing you what they're taking out of that water. Customer service, attention to detail, fantastic. And it's a free water test. They'll recommend other solutions for you also. Get this great care. Again, free water test. Contact Martin Water Conditioning. Click on martinwater.com or call 800-887-7555. Martin Water, call 800-887-7555.
When the market reaches all-time highs, investors who try to sell high are met with the same excuses from their broker. You're in it for the long haul. Stay the course. Don't sell now, you'll miss out on opportunity. But crash-proof consumers have not missed out on the recent market highs.
Kathleen Ralco from Langhorne, PA. I haven't missed out on growth opportunity this year. As a matter of fact, we've capitalized on it with crash-proof. With the crash-proof retirement system, we've gotten over 10% this year. The market can still go down, but I don't lose any of that money. And it's no fees charged to that. I'm getting the benefits of the stock market, but I don't have the downsides to it. It's not too good to be true. We're living proof of it. It works.
You don't have to choose between security and opportunity. Schedule an appointment by calling 1-800-722-9728 or visit crashproofretirement.com.
This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Do you know when the best time to buy investment properties is? It's now. It's always now. You just need to learn how to buy them correctly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night and learn how to buy investment properties and make money every time. That's right. That's what we teach. We teach how to buy investment properties and make money every time. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now. Take a class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Don't go through life ignorant about how to become a millionaire. Learn how to invest in real estate, the stock market, precious metals, and learn from an expert. At Investor Schooling, we teach these things and more. We only provide education, and we will teach you how to leverage real estate, how to leverage the stock market, and how to leverage precious metals to make more money than you've ever made before. Go to investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday. We will see you there, investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, welcome in, everyone. It is Dom time. Momentarily, we'll talk with Captain Sean Parnell, who told me about his experience with Pete Hegseth, founding that veterans group, long experience, friend with him, what he'll face in the Department of Defense. And what about Captain Parnell, who's one of the people we'll honor on Monday, don't forget. Now, he'll be on by phone. He lives in God's country. I think near Butler, Pennsylvania. He'll be on by phone, but we'll have in person Jim Worthington at the NAC, the Newtown Athletic Club, and Jim is generously providing food and drink. We're putting in our sandwich orders there with Greg today, Dan. Oh, sure, that's an easy thing.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, my God, yes.
How did I hear about this?
Oh, yeah, well, it was a conference call there. They're used to doing stuff like this, and we'll have there Scott Presler, Jim Worthington, Linda Kearns, Joe DeFelice, who led the charge in Philadelphia, and a couple of other people on the phone, like Captain Sean Parnell, who had the hardest job in some ways, convince people to vote by mail-in ballot. That very tough in 2020, big improvement. And the next time around should be even easier. That's how we win. All right, so let's go to Captain Sean Parnell. Captain, welcome back to Philadelphia. Sean, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Dom, it's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
So when we had a pretty good talk the other day, we were talking about Pete Hegseth, and I neglected, and I did go back and think about it, that you two were involved in this, was it Afghan Veterans Group?
It was called Concerned Veterans for America.
Okay.
And that group, Dom, that group, so there are lots of veterans organizations out there that I'm sure you've heard of, like the VFW, the American Legion, Disabled American Veterans. Back in 2013, 2014, we realized that there was a dire need in America for a group that handled and helped write good policy for veterans on the front end. All the veterans organizations that I just listed to you handle policy that's already, or legislation that's already passed out of Washington.
Mm-hmm.
They help veterans navigate a complex system. Well, Concerned Veterans for America was we handle all the things on the front end. So one of the things that Pete and I worked really hard on way back in the day was what eventually became the Mission Act. We wrote that piece of legislation with the help of lots of other patriots, pushed it through the House and the Senate, and that bill was signed into law by President Trump in 2018. And that was the most substantive healthcare reform at the VA ever, because it gave veterans a choice with regards to where they got their healthcare. And so worked with him for a long time. He's a very smart, reform-minded guy. You know, one of the other things that we dealt with at CVA was the Pentagon budget. You know, tons of fraud, waste, and abuse. Never passed an audit. And so he's a great guy for the job. He's also a really, really awesome person. And they are smearing, by the way, relentlessly. It actually makes me sick to my stomach what they're doing to this guy, because he's eminently qualified.
I didn't know the piece, and that's not out there in the media, though. I knew how he came about and was on Fox and Friends and all that stuff, Sean, but I didn't know the depth of what you're talking about here. That's the type of thing you'll have to do with the Department of Defense, but I think you concede that it's massive beyond belief, so he's going to need very good people around him, policy, audit, et cetera. But what's going to come out of this might shock Americans, the depth of some of this, shall we say, loose auditing.
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, just on the F-22 Raptor program, like over $1 trillion of appropriated taxpayer money has been poured into that program for a fighter, what they call a fifth generation fixed wing aircraft. That really, you know, I mean, look, if all things being equal and it was perfectly operational, it would be a great fifth generation fighter. But in terms of its reliability and the cost to maintain, the cost to build, and the weapon systems maintenance, the A-10 Thunderbolt, which is, you know, many of the so-called experts in the Pentagon would tell you that it's an antiquated aircraft. That is the best close air support fixed-wing platform that we have. Saved me in Afghanistan more times than I can count. It's reliable. It's cheap to maintain. But instead, we transitioned from the A-10 to the F-22, dumped $1 trillion of taxpayer dollars into this program, and it's still not up to par. And that's just one single program. Just one.
I'm just thinking here of the helicopters with the dual wings and all that type of stuff, and how many times we hear them go down or have difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be endless, and yet the spigot is open, which, you know, brings us toward. I wanted to ask you now we know with Pete with the Defense Department, but what would you consider going to Washington for, Sean?
Oh boy. Well, you know, first of all, that I did not expect that question, but if I get asked, I mean, first of all, it would be anytime the president asks you to do anything. I mean, it would be just an enormous honor to even have the opportunity to have an impact. But, you know, anything I think at the Department of Defense that had me in a leadership role where I could, you know, affect the outcome of, you know, young Americans' lives in a positive way. Like any sort of leadership role would be like an unbelievable honor. And Undersecretary of Defense under Pete, hell, even Secretary of the Army would be pretty darn cool. Like our Army is in a really rough spot where we haven't evolved our force in 20 plus years. No one's even talking about this, but the need is dire. I mean, there's just so many things that can be done. But if I get asked, of course, I mean, that would be an unbelievable honor.
Well, that's what we hope. I know you're a family guy, a lot of stuff going on, and you're incredibly valuable. Again, you had the hardest job of all, in my view, to win Pennsylvania, and you did it, and we've been through it, how much it cost, how long you were at it. And you and I have talked that next time around, I'm not saying it'll be a cakewalk, but it should be easier. You were the ones that put it on the line, your reputation, credibility, telling people this will work. It did.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting, Dom? We had to come up with a program to gain people's trust. You know, a transparent program that people could look to time and again to check the status of their ballot. I mean, so we had to come up with all that. When I initially wrote this plan way back in the day, I actually talked to Dave McCormick about it before he got into the Senate race the second time. So after his primary with Oz, before he got in the second time, and I said, this is outcome determinative. We've got to do this, otherwise we cede the state to Democrats. And I said to Dave back then, I said, well, you know, probably get this done with $550,000. Well, $15.5 million later,
right.
We got the job done. So it was a really tall order. But listen, any Republican who is listening that aspires to run for office, whether local, state, federal, this helps you immensely. You know, we've added over 225,000 new voters to the permanent voter rolls here. And guess what, Dom? I mean, you know, we're going to keep up with this program. I mean, we are singularly focused on building a machine that is better than that of the Democrats and ensuring that Shapiro and Fetterman are the last statewide elected Dems in this state. You know, Pennsylvania is a critical swing state. And I don't want to be winning squeaker elections. I want to win handily, you know?
Well, you're right. And Shapiro is as big as anything we've seen because of my judgment, probably yours. As much as I have such back and forth with this guy over the years, he is a killer on their side, and he will be the leading candidate for their nomination in 2028, unless he stopped in 2026 in the election, or at least dinged up and exposed as not a moderate Democrat whatsoever. He's the real deal. We've seen what he said about the Supreme Court decision, ridiculous, defending Bucks County, and even on the issue of transgender sports. Sean, as soon as he says, folks, you know what's coming. This guy is doable to beat him. That's what we have to do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And listen, you know, this program that we're building will help with that. And yes, I'll just say this. We are working on a plan to expose Josh Shapiro for the person that he is. And I will say this, acknowledging, you know, it's important to acknowledge the strength of your political adversaries. He is formidable. I mean, he has a 60+% approval rating, although I think that will go down now that he's, you know, a tried and true election denier in their own words. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous, as you said, what went on in Bucks County and some of the other places in the Southeast here in Pennsylvania. I think that will hurt him, but he's formidable. He's strong. He's got good political instincts, which I have to say is rare for people, and it's rare for politicians to have good political instincts. That's why they're surrounded by consultants. But Josh Shapiro does have good political instincts, and he fakes a good game as a moderate. And it's going to be our job moving forward to show the people of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania that he's not. He doesn't share your values. He just fakes it to make it.
Exactly. Well, Sean, thank you, and thanks for the background on Pete Hegseth. And let's hope that, there's something that comes up in either front for you. And we'll talk on Monday as we celebrate you and the other people who delivered Pennsylvania. I don't know about those other states, but I have not seen a better Mount Rushmore than what we have here.
Well, thank you, Dom. I really appreciate you saying that. We'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Thank you. Captain Sean Parnell will be with us by phone on Monday, but the other big three will be there and more. Hope you'll stop by the NAC, Pheasant Road, in Newtown, Bucks County. Is going to be a nice spread out there for folks. Dan there, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I thought you were saying the spread was laid out for me, which it is.
Yeah, I've been given permission to open that $100 bottle of wine.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll give you my taste test.
Can't wait for this.
Thanks for the Young Republicans. I've been storing it in my wine cellar. Well,
Wait,
really.
Hold on. I need to explore. do you guys actually have a wine cellar in the Dom Dome?
Yeah, we do.
Walk in with the
Yeah,
humidor.
there's a few bottles.
Take the stairs down.
Yeah, there's a few bottles in the dining room that are put up in a display. That's
the
the wine cellar. Yes. All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board, but right now it's time for...
Dom's Money Melody.
Money gone.
All right, today we're playing great prize. This is a great day. If you love basketball, City, it's wonderful. Pair of tickets to see the Big Five Classic at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia on Saturday, December 7th. Each of the city's Division I basketball teams battle for bragging rights. One-day triple header where one school will be crowned champion. Tickets on sale only at big5classic.com. Dan?
This may be controversial, Dom, but today we're talking about things that won't be with us in 50 years. And I
Right.
chose a band that I think will be with us in 50 years.
Okay.
Not in the sense that they're still going to be alive, because, I mean, that's a long time, but someone that's still going to be relevant in the world of music. So, Dom, we're talking a band that will still be relevant, in my opinion, in 50 years. If you were to ask Henry, he would respond with disgust when I said this.
Resounding no.
Okay.
No, I completely disagree, and we'll get into it after we reveal who it is. But this band has sold more than 30 million albums worldwide, 6 Grammy Awards, and they were number 73 on Rolling Stone's greatest bands of all time. So, Dom, here they are covering a Christmas song. We want to know this very well-known band that was huge in the 90s, still big in the 2000s, kind of losing relevance over years, but now used a lot of times in TV shows, movies. Take a listen. We want to know the name of this very popular band.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight. Walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird. Here to stay is the new bird. It sings a love song as we go along. Walking in a winter.
Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it?
Well, yes, it's well done. I mean, I can't imagine they're reduced to this.
I
kind
say
of,
that
but-
tongue-in-cheek, but the guy
Yeah,
singing
yeah.
is indeed a musical genius. I'll put that out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, hit us with that, and you're off to the triple header. You do that at 855-839-1210, 855-839-1210.
Rain by the fire, a face unafraid, the plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland.
High school football is back. High school football is back. And so is the Friday Night High School Football Scoreboard Show. Join Daryl Dobis, James Bailey, and Matt Dents. Friday nights 10 till midnight. For a rundown of all the big high school games in the region and expert analysis. The Friday Night High School Football Scoreboard Show. Friday night at 10. Only on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
This school year, make the most of it for your child or grandchild and make the call to Kathy Ganna and New Hope Academy in Yardley and Doylestown at 800-300-0003. Give your student all the tools they need for a great school year. Let New Hope Academy transform your child's life forever by helping them now. For over 3 decades, New Hope Academy founder Kathy Ganna, a pioneering educator and entrepreneur who created the NHA model, has been utilizing state-of-the-art solutions to uncover ways where your child could avoid struggling and succeed. At New Hope Academy, there's a student-teacher ratio of 2-to-1, allowing students to deal with many disorders, including high anxiety, social and emotional, and including bipolar. Do not wait. Help your students start strong. Remember, only the best teachers can work at NHA. Call for a no-obligation tour and consultation. 90% of NHA graduates pursue a college education. Call Kathy today at 800-300-0003. Online, newhopeacademy.net. Call New Hope Academy today.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
Hey, it's Nick Hale, and we know that your online privacy is of the utmost importance in 2024, and that's why I use Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo. This 3-in-1 subscription service features DuckDuckGo VPN, personal information removal, and identity theft restoration. But I want to tell you about the VPN experience. I'm doing show prep, research, many things that can be tracked or flagged, so that's why I trust DuckDuckGo to give me a secure Wi-Fi connection. I'm reading and researching things about the federal government, Trump, free speech, and I want to know that I'm not being tracked or traced. DuckDuckGo VPN hides my location and IP address from the websites or social media accounts that I frequent. How comforting is that? If you want the same sense of safety and security as I have, then take advantage of their free 7-day trial offer. Just visit DuckDuckGo.com/1210 today, and you'll experience what I have. After that, it's just $9.99 per month. Browser or app, mobile or desktop, up to 5 devices at once. Do it today. DuckDuckGo.com/1210.
Got a shopping list a mile long but need to charge your EV? No problem. Now you can fill up your cart and your battery at the same time. With a convenient network of Shell recharge stations at some of your favorite shopping spots, you can get everything done in one trip. Shop for groceries, clothes, and more while your EV charges up. And never miss a beat. Shell Recharge. Download the Shell app today to find the nearest Shell Recharge location. For more information on locations and how Shell measures reliability, visit shell.us/Shell Recharge.
Free speech in Philly on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT.
It's Dom Money Melody.
Where's all the money gone?
Show me the money.
That's exactly right. So let's hear the clue.
One sec. Where'd my clue go, Dom? Here it is. Take a listen. We want to know the cover band.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight. Walking in a...
Dom, and my argument was that this band will still be relevant musically in 50 years. Henry vehemently disagrees, but that's my opinion. Big band. Very popular band of the past 30 years.
All right, let's go to
More
Jeff
than
in
that.
Harleysville. All right, Jeff, who's covering that song?
I'm pretty sure it's the Stray Cats.
No, it's not the Stray or the Cats that know where they are. Keith in Southampton. Who's covering that, Keith?
Is it Bono?
No. Yeah, where is Bono? Used to be the hottest thing in the world to get an interview. Dan, we need another clue here.
Let's say they're very British. That's one
Okay.
thing. Henry likens all their music to whining. I think it's because
Okay.
Henry only knows their very popular stuff, but they are known for being kind of whiny, but they are indeed. The main singer, man, the guy you hear here, complete musical genius. 91 was their debut album that... do I want to include the name? Maybe. Yeah.
Something people love is part of the name here.
Phone lines aren't exactly blowing up here. So maybe you do.
Okay, well, let's take it off air then, okay?
Yeah, all right, we'll take it off air. Whoever calls in first wins that prize. Yeah.
Well, whoever gets it first gets the prize here at Talk Radio 1210. All right, we are in a race to try to get you some of the medical people we really trust. They're busy, they're doctors and all that, but RFK Jr. is going to be the most consequential, and I think he'll get through, although it's going to be quite a battle, and it's going to be quite elaborate, the hearing. But the New York Times has a piece today that's amazing where they come down on this, their spin. RFK Jr. is against Ozempic. And I wanted to talk about this because one of the things that a lot of listeners seem to like about him is the anti-big pharma. All right, some of this coming out of the vaccine stuff, legitimately, right? We know about some of the injuries. We know all some of that. But one of the things with Ozempic is the weight loss, or the big thing has become that more than diabetes, I guess. Headline today, New York Times. Ozempic could crush the junk food industry, but it, meaning the junk food industry, is striking back. So as they posture it...
we did get a winner, Dom.
Okay,
the
we
answer,
did get right?
The answer, he's getting his number or name right now. It was Chris in South Jersey called in the winner. The answer was Radiohead. Radiohead was today's cover artist. I think they'll still be relevant in 50 years, especially with all the film and TV work that they're doing now.
All right, that plays right into the side question, too. So RFK Jr. posing Ozempic, as I understand it, at least according to the New York Times, we get Marty on Dr. Marty, we'll go through this, gives a feeling of fullness, which cuts down, and they go through elaborate things here of people that were using it, walking past junk food, and even more than just being satiated, not needing to eat, they talk about somehow or another it might trigger other food choices that are better. Produce. They go through a whole thing. So their spin, though, is that somehow or another, RFK Jr. will actually be helping the fast food industry. And people that talk about what he's doing, I think I have somebody in here with the beef tallow again, right? Let's see. We've talked about this before with McDonald's. He's not telling you what you. Oh, here we are. It's Dr. Drew Pinsky on with Jesse last night, Dan. This is cut 10, making the point that Robert Kennedy Jr. is not about lecturing people like Trump and McDonald's and all that, as much as if you're going to make that food choice, is there anything that can be done to make it more healthful than it is now? Why was that put into play? Remember this whole thing, the seed oil versus the beef tallow. Here's Pinsky explaining it with Jesse, cut 10.
This should be a no-brainer. But Big Food and Big Pharma are already trying to kill Kennedy's nomination, relying on these senators they've greased over the decades to do what they're told and vote no. We are in for a massive food fight. Chief Patent Officer for the wellness company, Dr. Drew Pinsky, joins us now. All right, so this looks to be something where people are rallying behind. Do you see potential for this to be a bipartisan deal to make us hot and healthy?
100%. I don't know where the hot part came in there so much, but indeed, that would be a great byproduct if indeed that actually happens. But thank you to Cory Booker. Thank you to Bill Maher. Casey Means is exactly correct. The numbers speak for themselves. I saw and thank you even to the New York Times for climbing on board. We'll see how long they stay with the game. That remains to be seen yet. The really interesting thing, I saw some people freaking out about that picture you showed with the team on Trump won there with all the McDonald's hamburgers. And look, the worst thing about McDonald's is they fry their foods in the seed oils. If they could switch over to tallow, a good proportion of their problem would go away. Plus, you can make healthy choices at McDonald's, but people went absolutely berserk that poor Bobby Kennedy was seen with a McDonald's hamburger. He is not about telling you how to eat. He's trying to help make the food supply more healthy.
You're right.
Helpful, little correction there, I always say. But this is fascinating because this is something people are really engaged in. So I'm not against so-called big pharma completely. There's a lot of wonder drugs, a lot of things that they've created. But the vaccine thing, there have been problems here. They greased the system. Some of the injuries that were caused, particularly myocarditis, young men, we know, and you can say either covered up or whatever, okay? But we are moving past that with Kennedy Jr., and yet at the same time, you have fast food then wanting to push back because they want us to continue to consume that. Ozempic helps with that. I just find it to be fascinating. Here's why I like Kennedy Jr. in this. Because I'm not going to be all on board, or I'm going to be mostly on board as I see what he's doing. Case by case, what he's doing is going to make a huge difference, particularly in the lives of kids. There's going to be a lot there that will go into this. All right, let's go to Jeff in Hatboro and Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Jeff, good afternoon. Hi.
He has his hoodie on.
All right, I'll put you on hold, Jeff. 855-839-1210, you can get in. So I'd love to hear from you if you've used Ozempic. And a lot of celebrities, a lot of people just trying to take a shortcut are doing that. I gave you the way that I think it works, but you're seeing this battle with fast food companies, and they are going to try to cut Kennedy off even more than the vaccine makers. And some of the things he says are nutbag. I'll tell you, you don't have to. The point is, as we go into this confirmation, you don't have to be all in just because this is the person Trump picked, okay? You don't have to be against all of them just because of one issue that might be there. It's going to be making a judgment about the overall capability and what it will mean. And Kennedy is a net plus, but some of these things, I have to hear a lot more evidence, want to see what the guardrails are as far as what he does. Just saying all the big drug companies are the enemy now. Is that true? I mean, how did that change? Did I miss that? That you just want to make a blanket statement? I'm not saying he's saying that. I want to hear in the confirmation exactly what he says. But I agree with him about Ozempic and as a element toward reliance on drugs versus other things. He's being criticized. Dr. Sanjay Gupta is on the other side here saying, well, what do you expect people to do? They're going to have to use this. There is the diabetic part of it. Okay. And then you see, you're not going to get rid of big junk food that easily. Dan, would you like to give up big junk food? You're at a healthy weight, to put it mildly.
Get out of here. No.
Why is that?
All right, let me rephrase. I would not want to. I am totally for the reworking of all these dyes and all this crap.
Right.
But I don't want to give up my junk food. I want to find a way to eat it healthily or healthfully.
Okay. Is that possible, or is this? Here's what I'm going to say when we get through this with Kennedy. Is he masterful in making people think that's the case? This weighs on both sides of it. He's the savior, but at the same time, nothing's bad for you here. I mean, I'm a libertarian on this. If Americans want to eat McDonald's all day long, go right ahead. I just don't want to pay for it. And it provokes chronic disease that we all have to pay for.
I just feel like there's got to be a line that's drawn when the rest of the world recognizes that something is dangerous to your long-term health, and the U.S. turns a blind eye for what seems like big food or big pharma.
Fruit Loops.
Yeah. Make my ho-hos healthy again. Come on.
Okay, let's go to Wayne on the expressway. He's in on Talk Radio 1210. Hello, Wayne. Welcome in.
Thank you very much. Great show as usual, Dom.
Thank you.
So the topic on RFK Jr., and let's talk about Big Pharma. I think this discussion about being cast as being against Big Pharma is all off base, and we shouldn't let it go there. RFK isn't against Big Pharma. He's against science that isn't properly tested or transparent. That's what he's about. It's about that type of transparency that allows us to know what really we might expect through proper due diligence and testing on a drug.
Okay, then as far as it goes, but you know that our standards to get these drugs are I'd say probably the highest in the world, Wayne. Aside from the pressure to get a vaccine that they use, you can make that argument, I guess. But would you say that we have one of the highest standards in the world?
I would say that, yes.
Okay.
But I think the other thing, when you talk about, our recent issues with the COVID vaccine, which is not really a vaccine, but anyway, the COVID shot, people should have the right to take that or not. So just because they rush through, and it would be rushing through, and you could deem it necessary, for me to have to be required to take it,
of course.
I think that's ridiculous. And, to add something to the Harris campaign, who was all for a woman's right to have her body, well, by the way, they required women to be vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know the effect that would have on women who are going to have a child later.
Well,
So
yes, and to that point,
we
we do know it's not overblown of the risk plus minus with kids, particularly with teenagers. It seems pretty clear that any reasonable person would say it's a negative here. You're rolling the dice against things that were almost catastrophic.
Correct. I agree. Thank you, Dom.
Oh, well, Wayne, thank you. Do you have something that will not be here 50 years from now?
No, I don't. My hair.
Thank you, Wayne. Well, no, not true, because there's going to be a cure for baldness.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, what's happening with that? Is Bobby Kennedy going to look into that? Somebody out there is stopping that because they want to do other procedures. He is going to be...
Make America hairy again?
Yeah, he's going to be the most consequential. All right? See, I don't see Gates as all this stuff. It's going to be a chore to get through it with Gates to see where this lands. But Kennedy, the battle to fight for him to get in here, that interests me because there are a number of things that have, with the Fauci and the other gurus that we've seen, there have been great difficulty with this. But overall, American drug companies have been a net positive up until where we are at this point with COVID vaccination, et cetera. Now,
can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I don't mean to
ahead.
interrupt you
Yeah,
because you were making a great point there. Just want to read a tweet that came in from Fred's sister-in-law, Dom.
Yes.
Reads, Dom, I just stopped at my local Hispanic market to pick up some fresh salsa.
Yes.
And it says, what's playing on the radio loud and clear? The Dom Giordano program.
Oh, we captured that. Where's the market?
Salsa, yeah, salsa there.
Where's the market?
I don't know.
Okay,
They didn't say, but
yeah. Okay.
So whatever Spanish market, Hispanic market out there is listening to us, hello and thank you.
Oh, that's why I want to go and make an appearance. Buy some salsa.
Yeah.
We are trying to get Dr. Oz.
Salsa, yeah, salsa there.
Was that a worse thing, or when he said the woman, her doctor, and local politicians?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But, I'm glad Dr. Oz is going to head up Medicare, Medicaid. And that's kind of under the umbrella of Robert Kennedy Jr. I'm glad Linda McMahon will head up the Department of Education. And I think she'll move heaven and earth to both get it in line and start the demise of it. So can you imagine the questions, Dan? Do you think they'll get into wrestling with her, some of these senators? Oh, can you imagine? Which one of the senators is the worst? Oh, Lindsey Graham. Tell me about wrestling. Now, I'm trying to think of other senators. Bernie Sanders. Probably doesn't like wrestling. I think there'll be a lot. The confirmation hearings.
Can you imagine Elizabeth Warren's a big fan?
That's it. No, America's mother-in-law.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
You know it.
Can you imagine Elizabeth Warren with Matt Gaetz? I don't know if she's on a committee that will be quizzing him. Yes. And when she does that shaking and she starts getting revved up, will he say, at least I didn't put down I'm Native American?
Might be wrong here. I mean, she might actually be a big fan of wrestling. I do have some audio of her this past Monday night, right before Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
Hold on a sec. I'm going to get me a beer.
Oh, my God. Least able to fool America. Look, Bernie Sanders is fun, at least, pretty much. Elizabeth Warren, dreadful. All right, 855-839-1210. Let's talk Diane Giordano back with us, Philadelphia, New Jersey. You should know, if you've forgotten, that Diane Giordano, team leader at Giordano Realtors, that it's that time of the year again, time for your free Thanksgiving apple or pumpkin pie. Just come on out to the Abington Firehouse on November 26th for Diane's Community Thanksgiving Pie Open House and pick up your pie just in time for the holiday. Plus, Diane will be there signing copies of her latest book, Model Home Mindset, where she shares the winning strategies she's used to help home sellers like you get top dollar for their home. She'll cover everything from expert negotiation to smart marketing, strategic planning, plus some of the must-know strategies on the 2020 market forecast for prices, mortgage rates, and inventory. But make sure to reserve your pie today, apple or pumpkin. You'll get a lunch, desserts, grab a signed copy of Model Home Mindset. Just go to getfreepie.com. That's getfreepie.com, or give Diane a call right now at 215-576-8666.
Enjoy one more mild day today before the weather pattern changes. It'll be partly to mostly cloudy with a high temperature about 10 degrees above average at 64. Tonight, rain develops late, some of it heavy at times, low 48. And for Thursday, some showers around, especially during the morning, turning windy and colder with a high 52.
Weather sponsored by Budget Blinds.
The holidays are coming. Budget Blinds is your one-stop shop for blinds, shades, shutters, custom drapery, and motorization. Visit budgetblinds.com for a free in-home consultation and the only no questions asked warranty in the business. Schedule your holiday consultation. Ask about their special radio offer.
This is a commercial for California Psychics, America's most trusted psychic network. So, if you're waiting for a sign, this is it. No, really, this is it. You won't see your soulmate's face in the clouds or your career path mapped out in your cappuccino foam. This really is it. We could add some dramatic sound effects if you'd like. So what you waiting for? Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality, certified pros at Angie.com.
Looking for the confidence to walk away from the 9 to 5? Find out how with Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Sundays at 9 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly, and it's 100% free to you if you are on Medicaid. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782 to get started today. You get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
Need new doors and windows, but not high-pressure sales tactics?
If so, give Emmons a call today. At Emmons, we provide top-notch installation service with a focus on quality and customer satisfaction with brands like Anderson and Provia Windows and Doors.
And you can upgrade your home today with our energy-efficient options, which help save you money.
Call us today at 856-885-6677 or visit callemmons.com. From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
me!
That's why California Psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, so I'm worried about Hispanic markets. Dan thinks he's going to Vermont.
Yeah, apparently I won something from work and might be making a vacation up there now, Dom.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
all we need.
excited. I need this, you know.
To Vermont. Oh, goodness. A chalet.
Yeah.
All right.
Smuggler's Notch, apparently.
Smuggler's Notch.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So one other little detail on the Lake and Riley thing that's not little. This guy who was convicted apparently was a member of that Venezuelan gang, Martha Raddatz. Only a handful. Only one Lincoln Riley. So what? And apparently it wasn't the judge. The prosecutor there in Georgia did not go for the death penalty. Oh, we don't know if we get a conviction if we go for the death penalty. My goodness. How have they taken away the death penalty? How have we let them win on something that's common sense? All right, Joan was on Ozempic. She's on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Joan, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Thanks for taking my call.
Well, I'm glad you called in. So what's your view on this?
Okay, so I have been overweight all my life. I was up to 270 pounds, going through all types of diets, Weight Watchers, the Fen pill that you would take, everything possible out there, and I couldn't lose weight. I had to have a number of surgeries done. I had to have a knee replacement, 2 hip replacements. What happened is Medicare I'm 76, during this time would do surgeries, but then it got down to, well, if you need a hip replacement, and this is in the last couple of years, your BMI has to be under 40 in order for them to even give you the hip replacement. You'd have to get it because it's an emergency. So I tried Ozempic because not only pre-diabetic, they don't seem to count that, the pre-diabetic, why wouldn't you want to cover something that will reduce the weight on someone who is obese so that they don't become diabetic and have to depend on other treatments that cost the government and insurance companies? So my feeling is, because I was able to get down to 165 pounds on the Ozempic, then I guess it was last year they decided that they weren't going to cover it for weight loss. But pre-diabetic doesn't count. Heart disease, high blood pressure.
Right.
I tried several ways to get it approved and couldn't get it approved.
Well, so, Joan,
now,
wait a minute. You went from 270 to 165?
Yeah, but this is
Wow.
over a period of like 6
I know.
years.
But that's still
It
still
was
amazing.
a long time. I mean, I have pictures of
Yeah,
what I
well,
looked then and now.
look, as I said, with Kennedy, it's a mixed bag here. I'm not going to sign off to just anything because he is the rage now because he's saying provocative and interesting things. And I just think Ozempic, for people that don't have the issue that you did, is not something that I think I'm on board with. I think there's side effects of this. But in your case, it worked for you in a dire situation. That's different.
Yes, I had no side effects. I looked up lawsuits for Ozempic, couldn't find any major lawsuits against it. Now, I worked in medical for 45 years doing Medicare billing, so I know exactly what they're doing. The problem is, yes, people are losing weight. They feel good. I mean, the people that I've seen that have gotten down to a normal weight do not eat junk food now. They don't have a craving for it. What is it going to do? I haven't seen anybody really die of it, but what I've seen is a lot of people that don't need to be on Ozempic got it.
Yes.
So, and that's wrong.
I hear you.
I mean, when you're obese, that's different.
I hear you, Joan. Thank you, Joan. Thanks very much. That's why Kennedy, I'm looking forward to this a lot. We'll see the back and forth, and I don't think look, you see how ill-equipped these guys are. I was kidding about Linda McMahon and wrestling. These guys just don't seem to have knowledge of anything. When they bring in the various people that are big tech, Facebook, all that stuff and all, and you're trying to craft something that would not squash part of it, but rein them in as far as the censorship. Only a few of them are equipped to ever question them, to go back and forth with them. And I think the same thing you're going to see in this confirmation hearing. Are these guys, some of these senators, going to be equipped to go back and forth? Elizabeth Warren and RFK Jr. Oh, my goodness. This is a match made in hell. All right, 855, Matt Gaetz and Elizabeth Warren. We have to check to see Judiciary Committee, who's on there. Dan, if you can, before we get out of here, we got the lightning round coming up. I'll check, too. Who's on the Senate Judiciary Committee? That would be the people that would do the confirmation with Gaetz. I don't know who else which committee for some of these, who's going to be doing this.
You want it?
Okay. Yeah, give it to me if you have it.
Majority members,
Yeah.
Rich Durbin, Sheldon Whitehouse, Amy Klobuchar. Is this accurate? Yeah. Chris Coons, Dick Blumenthal.
Danang Dick. There we go.
Maisie Hirano, great first name.
Maisie.
Not great politics.
Yeah, well, wait a minute. Maisie.
Spells it wrong. She spells it wrong.
Wanted to know about a bridge between Hawaii and the United States.
Not my
Remember
wife.
that?
No,
Yeah.
the senator.
Trains over it, yes.
Oh, man. Spartacus.
Yeah.
Cory Booker's on
Oh, my. This is going to be great theater.
there. Alex Padilla, John Ossoff, Peter Welch, LaFonza Butler round out the Democrats. Republicans, Dom, you have Lindsey Graham. Leading things off.
That's right, yeah.
Chuck Grassley, John Cornyn, Mike Lee, Ted Cruz, Josh Hawley, Tom Cotton, John Kennedy, Tom Tillis, Marsha Blackburn.
Okay. People like Marsha Blackburn getting into it with somebody on the other side. It's going to be intense. All right, lightning round is next. Something that will not be here 50 years from now. Great question from Dan today. One of the biggest and healthiest sales of the year is back again. Rescue Natural Supplements Black Friday sale is here, and right now Rescue is slashing prices on every supplement with discounts up to an incredible 80% off. Rescue has a wide variety of products to address your health needs, including immunity, cholesterol support, heart health, and natural energy enhancers. Grab huge savings on omega-3s, probiotics, and a lot more. And one more thing, this Rescue Black Friday sale will run the entire month of November. So shop today at res-q.com, res-q.com, or call a Rescue product consultant at 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Again, all Rescue supplements are up to 80% off during the entire month of November. So why wait? Shop massive savings on essential supplements at res-q.com. Do it today.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Deborah Heart and Lung Center and Cleveland Clinic Heart Vascular and Thoracic Institute have formed a powerful alliance. Legends in caregiving New Jersey families, the most sophisticated heart team in America. Innovators in research and patient care who've made life better for thousands of patients, raising the standard for the next generation of care. The alliance between Deborah Heart and Lung Center and Cleveland Clinic Heart Vascular and Thoracic Institute means the highest quality care close to home for you. DemandDeborah.org.
Hi, Dawn Stensland here. You've heard me talk about Chapman Windows, Doors, and Siding for years now. How much I love the work the Chapman family team has done in my home, especially that wall of glass patio doors that replaced some windows when you walk into my foyer area. You know by now if I needed windows, doors, or siding, I would only trust the Chapman team. But did you know they also install shutters? A perfect complement to your new windows. For the month of November, Chapman Windows, Doors, and Siding is giving away a pair of shutters when you purchase 2 pairs. The right shutters can really enhance the curb appeal of your home. Whether you or somebody you know are looking for windows, doors, siding, shutters, or hardware, just give them a call. You can text them. They're local. 610-431-8898. That's 610-431-8898. You can always take a virtual tour online, ChapmanWindowsDoors.com. Get all the details. That's ChapmanWindowsDoors.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
My office has its ups and downs.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, one thing's for certain. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast, and you can invite your top choices to apply. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, for any kind of office.
I'm really going places in my office.
My office has everything you could ever want.
Count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
And that's right. Today's lightning round is sponsored by Cherry Hill Volvo. Right now, lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. See store for details. They always go the extra mile for their customers because relationships matter at Cherry Hill Volvo. So we're trying behind the scenes to confirm both the trip to Vermont and this mystery Hispanic store playing the Dom Giordano show.
Yeah,
I got to get over there.
Call us, store.
Yeah, tell us the store, or I asked the guy on Twitter. I'll see if I get the name of this. We'll buy a bunch of salsa.
Is that advisable, Dom, to have the Dom Giordano program on your public loudspeakers in your store, you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to draw in more customers. They hear it. They're going to spend more.
Is that Dom Giordano?
Oh, my God.
She loves salsa. Yeah, salsa there.
Remember when he got caught doing that and the expense of it?
Crudité.
The crudité, and it just became very difficult.
Man, I can't wait to have him back on. Really good guy.
Yeah. Dr. Oz is there.
All jokes aside.
Yeah, chronic disease is going to be his portfolio there, and that's where Medicaid and Medicare come in. That's a good spot to put him. All right.
She loves salsa. Yeah, salsa.
Let's go to the Earl of Tacony. Earl, what's not going to be here 50 years from now?
Do you want my answer or you want my opinion on Christmas lights?
No, the answer to we're in the lightning round, Earl, so we kind of, yeah.
No problem. I'm going to go video screens. We have holographic Michael Jackson. I just saw a newspaper article that said that holographic Jesus is taking confessions now. They had the Oculus for virtual reality. So I figure, eventually they're going to get the technology where you're not going to need a physical screen. You'll probably just have a holographic projector and have a screen projected right in front of you as opposed to having something physical to touch.
Very good. All right. Thank you, Earl. That certainly seems doable to me. Joe in Exton. Joe, what's not going to be here 50 years from now?
Yes, hello, Dom, and good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Joe.
In the next 50 years, the world will no longer be polyglot. Instead, English will become the universal language.
What was the word he used?
Polyglot.
Polyglot?
Yes.
That's the word I've never heard in my life.
Polyglot.
Polyglot, yes.
Still another word I've never heard
But
in my
Joe,
life.
wait a minute, though. This would fly in the face of Spanish becoming more dominant, no?
Maybe Spanish
yes.
is the language that he's talking about.
In English, in Europe, English is already a second language, and there's a movement to coalesce nations, and there will be a need for one means of communication, so it might come down to either Spanish or English.
All right, thank you, Joe. Well, look, the rest of the world, English speakers in the United States, not so much Spanglish and just, well, Philadelphia-ese, whatever you would call it. Let's try Greg in Wilmington. What's yours today, Greg?
Hey, I don't know if I can compete with polyglots, but shopping malls.
Shopping malls. Why do you think they're going away?
Shopping malls are. Who goes there anymore?
I do.
Absolutely no reason to go there. Oh, it's terrible.
There's nothing better than the nostalgia of smelling Auntie Anne's while you pass a hot topic.
Very nice. Well, where do you shop? Online? You can't be arguing that, right?
Yeah, no,
That's
it's
flawed.
online shopping entirely now.
Oh, God. It's like rolling the dice, don't you think?
Yeah, no, you do have a lot of returns. I get that. But
exactly.
Boy, I just do not like driving out to the mall anymore and slugging around and carrying bags and all that. It just seems
Me and
like
Maisie
a
make
big
date
waste of
nights
time.
out of walking around in the mall.
Oh, there you go. All right. To Greg,
we're in the
shopping
90s.
malls will not be here. But he's right. They are on the ropes, no doubt. All right. Heaven forbid I am anti this next thing, even though it's a great observation. Dwayne in Valley Forge. What won't be here, Dwayne?
The penny. No more common sense.
Why do we want to get rid of a great form of currency?
Because of inflation has made it without value.
All right. Well, I still keep pennies, as everybody knows here. All right, Henry.
When he called in, I was offended because I thought he said J.C. Penney.
Oh,
and
no.
I was like, J.C. Penney will last forever. That's an
Sin,
amazing
you
story.
said cash, though, too. That's going to be with us forever. People are getting more paranoid. They're going to be with cash. Henry, what do you like?
Yeah, even though it was a sarcastic answer,
Right.
Wayne on the Schuylkill Expressway with his hair.
Okay.
And then I really liked Greg and Wilmington's answer of shopping malls, because what are shopping malls anymore? Boscov's and Annie Ann's, the Spencer's, and that's it.
Best
Maybe a
stores.
phone repair
I
shop.
still think there are more there, to Dan's point. Cherry Hill's still pretty big, a lot there. Dan, how about yours?
You know, I always like the ones that are off the cuff. Didn't call in with one, and we just asked them the question.
Right.
Wayne and Schuylkill exclaimed, "My hair" was a fantastic answer. And I'm also going to throw out Robert in Ben Salem caused a lot of conversation saying shoelaces will no longer be around. Instead, Velcro will become the
Yeah, I like
standard.
the shoelaces and what came out of it. All right. Let's go with Robert. Richie always
Robert's
next.
on a streak, man. He's
we
doing
are
well.
back tomorrow here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
The most important part of your financial future is the firm you choose. You see, all financial firms are not the same. Traditional firms that sell securities can't guarantee income and are vulnerable to bankruptcies, market losses, capital gains taxes, and ongoing fees. But the exclusive crash-proof retirement system continues to protect over 5,000 clients from market losses and bankruptcies and provides guaranteed tax-favored income with the potential for double-digit interest returns with no fees whatsoever. Our one-of-a-kind proprietary system continues to protect billions of dollars in assets. Are you in or near retirement? There's only one crash-proof retirement for the American retiree. Schedule an appointment by calling 1-800-722-9728 or visit crashproofretirement.com.
Times are tough. Sometimes a paycheck just doesn't cut it. Today, more people than ever need our help. I'm Ernie Russell, Board President of the Catholic Charities Appeal of the Archdiocese of Philadelphia. Through the annual appeal, nearly 1 million people in our community receive help through shelters, soup kitchens, schools for special education, and so much more. Please donate today. Your gift matters.
Please donate at CatholicCharitiesAppeal.org. That's CatholicCharitiesAppeal.org.
This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. You may know me from my book, Money Hacks. You may know me from my radio shows. And you may even know me from some of these commercials. But listen, I'm teaching stuff that people need to learn about money. In fact, my favorite topic is money. So go to InvestorSchooling.com and you will learn things about money that you never even knew existed. We will teach you things about real estate, about the stock market, and about how to use your IRAs properly. Go to InvestorSchooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's InvestorSchooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at InvestorSchooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right, you can even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to InvestorSchooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to InvestorSchooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
Black Friday savings have